Oh man, what's up everybody? How's it going? Welcome to Romancing the Stones Middle School League. School's out. My name is Robert. I'm joining the booth here with Angelo. How's it going, Angelo?
It's going great, man.
We are a little behind schedule, just a wee little bit, but we appreciate
Not that much.
just not that much, you know. We'd probably still be in game one if we had started on time. But that's okay. We have resolved some technical difficulties. We have two players here to battle out in our top four here. Brian Tweedy on the left at 8th seed and TK on the right at 4th seed. So should be exciting. A very fast-paced, high-intensity game of Magic is about to unfold as we have The Solution from Tweedy on the left, and we have Blue-White Landstill on the right. Are those decks quick, Angelo? Do those decks play Magic fast?
I've seen the solution get things done pretty quickly.
Okay.
So I think that's going to need to be Tweedy's angle.
Sure.
Especially considering that they know what the other one's on. I was thinking that if Tweedy, if TK keeps an opening hand of 7, for example, he's either going to get his teeth kicked in and dissected card by card, or he's going to be able to get one in 5 turns or less, 6 turns or less.
Sure. So
otherwise, TK's going to have to mulligan.
Sure.
Ways to stop early aggro.
I can agree with that. I can go with that. So there are definitely some cards and some air in the Landstill deck that may not match up against some of what Tweedy's doing, but Sword to Plowshares in the main, some counter magic that can, some Wrath of Gods that can kind of become problematic. We'll see. But our players have started here.
He wants to try to dump his hand. So.
Yes, does want to dump his hand and then draw some more cards. Yes. If we can get a resolved Lightning Angel quick, that might be the path to victory, and then maybe we can get some reach with some Fire and Ice, maybe?
Even just start beating down with Chris Picula.
Oh, sure, yeah. Some Meddling Mages, yeah, absolutely.
Curve out. Hit the Mother, and then hit Chris, and then hit Lightning Angel turn later.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to see Brian drop down to 19 here and do exactly that, and try to resolve a Meddling Mage. TK does not have double blue, so Counterspell is off the table, no Force of Will. It looks like it does resolve.
Do we know what he named?
I don't know what Tweedy named. I cannot hear the players in this moment, but I have to assume it's Sword of Plowshares, right?
Yeah, that or Counterspell maybe, knowing that he's off 2 blue.
Well, without Sword of Plowshares, the only thing that will stop this Meddling Mage is either Wrath of God or the land, right?
You're right.
That's my thought. And then if we can land a Lightning Angel with force backup, then Lightning Angel's just free. Nothing will trade with that, except Decree of Silence or Decree of Justice, Angel.
Yeah, Decree of Justice. That's in there.
Yeah, there's some in there for Landstill. But Tweedy's got all colors of his mana ready to go. Okay, well, we do see Roadblock 1. TK able to find a factory.
That's okay.
Okay. It's okay.
Tweedy has swords too.
Tweedy does have swords. This is correct. So we could... Now, we have to be very confident that the swords resolves. Last thing we want to do is attack in, try to swords it, and then lose a counter battle.
Tweedy very excitedly just played that Gemstone Mines, so I think he might have the Angel right now.
That would be exciting. Well, we could ice the factory. We could play Meddling Mage number 2. Okay, sure. Okay, we're going to see Factor Fiction in response. Oh, wow. Okay, so then do we have a counterspell? We have Mountain. We could see Mana Leak. Mana Leak. Mana Leak. Ooh. Okay, so Factor Fiction is gone. We've got 2 bears in play.
Did he just show you has 5 cards in hand, TK?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what we just saw.
So TK will drop down to 16. And this is... I don't know if this could be any better for Tweedy. I think maybe Tweety thinks this could be better somehow, but I think this is real good.
It's coming up, Tweety.
And now, like, even if we have like fire in hand, we could still attack with both of these, and fire will at least tap the Mishra's Factory. Or I guess at that point maybe we just ice it, but to draw a card. Yeah. This is interesting. Okay. Oh wow, but apparently we have nothing. Okay, so we're gonna try to resolve another fact or fiction here. Tweety looks at his grip. What do we got? Another mana leak would be wonderful here.
No, okay.
Oh wow. Okay, Tweety's got it. This is how you stop the Landstill. Tweety intent on making up for some lost time here, I suppose. And TK draws and plays another land, so not missing land drops is good, but we haven't gotten to draw any cards.
2 factor fictions is pretty punishing.
It is. But we do have the factory as a roadblock, and we do have the conclave. And standstill here does not seem bad, because we can still attack with the conclave. And Tweety won't be able to stop that unless he plays into the standstill.
I'm in the middle of the stream. What? Oh, you right? Sorry, wife's saying good night.
Not a problem at all. Life stops for nobody, not even magic.
Right.
Okay, standstill resolves.
Okay.
Advantage VAR back to even. You know, if we're gonna do that.
At least even. I still really want to know what those mages are on. Like, it's got to be swords and. Do you say wrath? Do you say force?
You could say sword and then Wrath of God, and then TK has no way to remove creatures other than what I think we have one main deck, Powder Keg.
True, yeah, main deck powder keg.
Trying to remember what I sent you.
I got it. No, that's it.
Yeah.
So, real grindy here.
And I mean that's a good way to position yourself into a good spot. Now we can't meddling mage any of these manlands, but oh, there we go. This is still a kind of a tight spot here for Tweety, as now we have oh, well, now we're losing Tweety's video here.
Oh boy.
All right, one moment. We'll see. There we go. And yep, things switched a little bit. All right, give me a second to fix that, everybody. We will pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So we have been working out some kinks here in getting our players into the stream. So we have moved to Plan B. Plan B is a little less practice, but no, never fear. Magic continues. Alrighty, so it looks like TK has it started to attacking. Tweety is now down to 16. And I don't think Tweety is now in kind of a tight spot here. We're going to have to find a way to answer these conclaves, you know? Maybe, you know, if TK attacks with both of them, though, when we have fire in hand, fire might be a really good way to answer these.
Could be sick. I mean, obviously, it requires counter backup at this point.
It does. Are we going to see attack from both or just the one? Just the one. TK being a little conservative. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Well, I think that's the proper way to play this. You know, only stick your neck out as far as you need to.
Yep. It looks like we've got access to 3 blue, so at least 1 counter spell, maybe, Hardcast Force we've got here, so definitely still some options
for
TK.
Still sitting there.
Right. Well, that's the elephant in the room for Tweety. How do we have the right hand to deal with this? How much time do we have? Because at some point we can attack for 4 in the air. Or now with this other factory, now we can really start maybe getting in the ground game with one of these guys. And, we could, potentially attack for 4 with this one factory. All right, well, definitely seeing the power of Standstill plus Manlands here. What seemed like a really, really strong position from Tweety has come to a complete stop.
I'm a little surprised, as TK's deck only has 3 standstills in it, right? Is that normal?
You're asking the mono red player how many standstills is normal in the Landstill deck. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that no, that's not normal. I would say you'd want 4. The deck is called Landstill. So we have land, check. But 4 standstills seem like the normal thing. So, I don't know if that's just a nod to maybe you don't always want standstill. Maybe multiples is, no good. And having the ability to, you just want to resolve 1 in one game, and that's probably enough, maybe?
That's kind of insane.
Right? Clearly it's treated him well so far.
This big Tweety's just draw going here.
We're going to do a little bit of production here and just make this just a little bit bigger and see more magic. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so Tweety down to 10, 5 hits in, and we're going to end a turn Fact or Fiction. Okay, so now this is how we choose to break the standstill. We have a little bit of mana to fight over this, maybe Force of Will. We're going to force TK to counter. Yeah. Is this resolving? There's no way this Fact or Fiction resolves. No, okay, so we see counterspell. All right, so do we have anything to fight back with? Four cards in a hand. Wow. So Tiki's been making all of his land drops. Okay, so we're going to see Force. Okay, Tweety drops down to 9. Pitch Meddling Mage number 3.
Wow.
All right. All right, we have a stack, everybody. Okay, Force of Will resolves. Wow, what is in... TK must have cards named by Meddling Mage. And if that's the case, then... then it doesn't get better. Ooh, okay, so we see... The Exalted Angel is a very good way to check TK's Fairy Conclaves, and a great way to climb back into this match.
That's a tough split.
I mean, I think if we see Angel plus the other cards, I think that's very telling.
What do you think? What would you give Brian here?
If I'm really out of counter magic and just full of cards that have Meddling Mage in hand, I can't afford to have Tweety pull the Angel, right? So I just say, hey, look, you either get Angel or nothing, or everything else. And while that is very telling, I still think that is the right move, maybe. But
I'd give him the land and the Angel. Seems fine, right?
Land. Maybe. I mean, Tweety is a little low on land, right? So I don't think we have the ability to play the Angel face up and have counter back up. So maybe the land. I don't know. That's tough, right?
I guess one more land would put him on 2 mana.
Right. Which he's shown to have mana leak, so that's something. Mana leak may not be the best into TK's open mana, but giving him the impulse though means that's a blue card for Force. That seems a little suspect. And he cast it at the end of turn too. Like he just got to cast this impulse. Okay.
That's true. That might have been a little misstep.
Yeah. Maybe he was trying to be sneaky and try to convince Tweety to like not take the angel, but I think angel's the best way to actually get back into this.
Yeah, because all fire, ice, and bolt do is maybe buy you a couple turns.
Yeah, I mean, if we have the fire will eat one of the conclaves, bolt will eat the other pretty easily, and then that leaves TK kind of stalled. I mean, he's got only 2 conclaves. If they both go away, TK's got no more threats in the air.
Well, you can run in a 4/4 factory.
We could start playing that game. And Tweety's at 8 now, so 4/4 is still 2 hits. So I'll have to block with a meddling mage or find something else to block with. But looks like we're going to play the angel face down, knowing that we can't lose it right now.
Flips up for 4. It's in good shape.
I say that, but if we have exactly powder keg right now, I think technically the morph is a 0. So powder keg could kill it.
I thought the morph was a 3, but you might be right.
I don't know. So back when morph was a thing, it was a 0. I don't know if it's a 0 now.
No, it's an ability that costs 3 to play it face down.
Right. I think it's a face down 2/2 with no mana cost. So yeah, this is the only window.
But you could just flip it in response, right?
If we have the mana, let's see. So let's look at Exalted Angel here.
He's got 2 gemstone mines and 2 colorless or 2 pain lands. He's fine.
Exalted Angel is 4 to flip. So yes, we could flip, and it is a special action. We cannot respond to it. So Chroma's Vengeance, though. Okay, so look at this. This is the other card I guess we could get, right?
Chroma's Vengeance.
This is hot. So this is going to destroy all creatures and enchantments and artifacts. That was exactly what we wanted TK not to have if we're Tweety. And if I could type the right thing for Chroma's Vengeance.
Oh, that's terrible.
Maybe I would find this card and show it to you guys. There we go. 2 seconds. All right. Chroma's Vengeance. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments for 6 mana, and you can cycle it. Absolutely backbreaking for Tweety here. Holy moly. Holy moly. So when I said that was the only window that TK had, I was stone dead wrong.
Well, you finished the sentence and he flashed it.
And that's why I'm in the booth here and not playing this deck in the top 4. We're going to see Standstill Resolve, and we're going to see Factory come in here.
Okay.
Just for 2, but
okay. That's a choice.
I think that's fine. I don't think you pump preemptively when your opponent has Bolt in hand. I think you need to be able to respond to Bolt or Fire.
Yeah, just always keep it up.
Yeah. And Tweety's at 8, right? So if we're attacking for 2 this turn, that's okay. Next turn we can attack for more. But it looks like we want to Swords it. That's reasonable. All right. Trigger, draw 3 cards.
Opponent gains 2 life and draws 3 cards.
Yeah, I mean, unless he's got Force, unless TK has Force, I think the Swords will resolve. So we want to gain some life. Okay, sure. Yeah, we're gonna gain 4 life. Go back to 20.
That's cute.
I mean, it's a real thing. Tweety, I guess, is sort of the burn deck. Wow.
And it is middle school. Things can still change.
Absolutely. Okay, well, what a interesting match. This is not how I thought this match was going to go exactly. This has been fun.
It's a little disheartening for Tweety. He had a gangbuster start,
Yes.
And then here we are, 20-something turns later.
I believe main deck, we are out of Exalted Angels. I believe we just have... No, we have two. We have two Exalted Angels main. We do have some moms, so it's possible we could resolve a mom later. That might help, but Lightning Angel's going to help block a little bit, but it doesn't block a 4/4 factory, which we don't have anymore, so that might be fine.
When mages are off the table, so any...
Yeah, so Sword to Plowshares, which I think we're going to see here. Yeah. Which we knew was going to happen. That's been in Tiki's hand the whole time. What's the land, though? Is that a Core Haven?
Yeah.
On Tiki's?
Core Haven.
It's a Core Haven. Let's pull that one out. Prevent all combat damage that we dealt by target attacking creature this turn. So that's going to make Exalted Angels, be difficult to attack with if we get another one, and it's going to make our Lightning Angels a little anemic as well. So that is a nice include here. A little Maze of Ith style effect. Things aren't looking good for Tweety here. And considering the fact we only have 3 standstills and we've already hit 2 of them, Tiki is doing just fine.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it locked up for Tweety? Is it over?
I don't think it's over. I think Tweety still has all these burn spells, right? And Bolt's going to deal with this cleanly.
Okay, yeah, Bolt. Fire Ice is still... We haven't seen very many of those. I mean, he put one of each on the bottom, right? That's really
Counterspell's going to be fine. All right, so Counterspell resolves. We get to keep our factory. I mean, this is... Oh, nope. Nope, it's gone. Oh, no, I lied. That's not the discard pile. That is the tapped land pile. I was excited for a second. Because that's, Tweety's path to victory is just remove all the win conditions from TK's deck and hope for the best.
Keep on trucking. Okay.
Impulse is fine, yeah. Although Tweety is definitely approaching the long game advantage of Landstill with the end of turn, go wide decree. And with Tweety at 8, that's low enough to really matter.
It'll blow out. Okay.
All right, impulse and response, Lightning Angel. Okay, this is fine. Make sure we don't tap our Core Haven. Yep. All right, what do we got? Now, it still looks like TK may be still relatively low on cards. And this does resolve. We can attack. It will get Core Haven. That's fine. And we'll pass the turn. Alrighty. So now Tweety needs to find another Lightning Angel.
Just one more.
And dodge Wrath of God. Brutal.
Exalted Angel works too, right?
Exalted Angel will certainly get the Core Haven to be tapped. That is for sure.
I smell
Are we just gonna make angels with Decree of Justice?
Just go for the angels. I smell a big decree coming.
Oh, come on.
Because it's a sorcery, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. So, Decree of Justice, recently promoted to uncommon in Modern Horizons 3. Does actually have a casting cost. It is not just a card you cycle. You tap 4 mana, and then you tap double X, and you make angels here. So we're going to tap... There's the 4, and we're going to make 3 angels.
Yowza.
Oh, boy. These are 4/4s, which are bigger than the Lightning Angels here. I don't know if we've seen Decree of Justice actually cast here. Anytime on stream. I think we've seen it cycled plenty. But yeah, these are bigger than Lightning Angels. And Tweety says, yeah, nope, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not beating these 4 angels. You got game 1.
Well.
Wow.
It was a wild ride.
All right, so let's talk about sideboard here for a moment. This is Tweety's deck. In the sideboard, we have 3 nulls. Probably not going to bring in a nulls here. We do have a Teferi's Response. Maybe that might be fine.
What is Teferi's Response when one of their lands targets one of your lands? Or is it the activated ability of a land?
I think it's the activated ability of a land. So you could Teferi's Response, Core Haven.
Yeah.
And so let's pull that up here. And then you could draw 2 cards, right? Or you can counter... target spell or ability that targets a land you control. I lied. Okay, so...
Okay, so it has to target yourself.
Yeah. So I don't remember how Teferi's Response works, apparently. Apologize, chat. Probably not coming in. I think there's a Dust Bowl maybe somewhere, but I don't think this is what we want.
I don't think Dust Bowl matters that much.
No, not at all. Okay,
maybe.
Let's see. Our Hydroblasts probably not where we want to be. Stifle? I don't think Stifle does what we want. We could Stifle a Decree trigger, maybe. But
Stifle the standstill trigger?
Yes. However, casting Stifle will then reactivate the standstill, and you'll then still let your opponent draw 3 cards. Awesome. And then the first standstill trigger will get stifled, but wouldn't have resolved anyway.
He'll put Sabo's Web in there.
Yeah, Sabo's Web, absolutely. Because almost all of the relevant lands TK has have activated abilities. I think that'll be great. That makes a lot of sense.
And then the Cursed Totem and Null Rod really don't help either.
No, I mean, if you have just bad cards, you could bring in Cursed Totem to stop Mistress Factories from pumping themselves, potentially.
Maybe Seal of Cleansing to pop factories.
I like Seal of Cleansing for that. I think we have some cards that may not be the best. Let's take a look at TK's list. TK has 3 Meddling Mages. Those will be good. We could bring in 3 Meddling Mages.
Yeah, for sure.
The Nulls, not so much. Teferi's Response, possibly, if we think we need to protect our manlands. Just additional counter magic, sure. There are, let's say, what is that? 4 Red Blast or Blue Blast effects, 2 Hydroblast, 2 Blue Blast. Those are going to be incredible, right? Good against Bolt, good against Lightning Angel, good against Fire Ice. Those seem wonderful. CP Red, most of the win conditions are red.
Is it worth it though?
I might. Because Tweety doesn't have a lot of reach. It doesn't have a lot of ways to win the game. He needs one of his threats to connect. And if you can just blank one, why not?
Fair.
It's possible we don't need the Wrath of Gods, or maybe we want them. I'm not sure. We have another Powder Keg. Maybe that's okay. There's a lot of ways you could approach this, I think. Your Wrath of Gods get a little worse if you're bringing in your own Meddling Mages. So, right. I'm not the Landstill player, so I'm not sure. This is probably very far away from what I usually try to do in middle school. So, it's hard for me to say, I think, what Landstill wants to approach, how it wants to, because it's got a couple ways to do that.
It's a delicate balance of keeping the counters and removals in there that you need.
Right.
So really it's an upgrade situation a lot of the times for me, Blue Blast or Counter Spell kind of thing. maybe down a Wrath, up a Powder Keg, something like that.
Chat saying that Tweety said that this matchup is very bad for him. Not enough threats and too many answers from Landstill. Yeah, that's probably that's how he lost game 1, right? He had turn 2 Meddling Mage, turn 3 Meddling Mage, naming swords and probably Wrath of God, and then we lost it all to Chroma's Vengeance, and then went downhill from there. So
that Akroma's Vengeance really did save the day, and it is a one-of in the deck. So
there you go.
Stuck her head in the room.
All right. Well, looks like the game is afoot here. We are going to drop to 19 and fetch.
So you're going to have the turn 2 mage.
Curious here. It looks like TK is elected to, or Tweety has elected to play. Okay, so that was at the end step. We're fetching. Okay, that's fine. I was counting the lands and realizing, okay, maybe in this matchup we want to go second so we can have the extra card, but Meddling Mage resolves here. So I assume we name Sword of Plowshares. And this is good. We got a blocker.
So far, so good.
Yeah. So chat, we assume Sword to Plowshares is the first name. Reduce TK's ability to get rid of the Meddling Mage. We'll see what the second one is going to be. And Sword to Plowshares is also just solid because it's just good against what Tweety's trying to do to win the game and close it out. Which is right here. So we are representing some big angels here coming up.
Counterspell. I smell a counterspell coming.
Yeah. So I think this makes sense. I think we counterspell this.
Throws that island on the table.
Right. And this potentially means that Tweety can force. We'll see if TK has a force backup. Ooh.
He's got something.
We have the Pyroblast. Okay, so we did get the Pyroblast. I think we have one of those.
Pyroblast is that?
We have one Pyroblast. So that is a Romancing the Stones custom proxy Pyroblast. So that was a trophy, I believe, for being invited to one of their invitationals. I think that's what that one. I have that one, and I think that's what I got it for. So we're going to see a stack here, right? We're going to see Pyroblast into Force of Will into other Force of Will, and we're going to see Force back. Holy moly! Oh no! Okay, wow. That was big. That's big. Tika's only going to have one card left in hand, and that's probably okay for Tweety here. We do reveal it was an angel. We can attack for 2 here. And if Tweety can capitalize on having more cards than TK here, maybe we can find a way out. Maybe TK draws some white cards that we can't cast.
I mean,
it doesn't draw land.
Tweety gets Act or Fiction, and then he's just off to the races, right?
Yeah. Well, that was a cool stack. We're going to see Fact or Fiction. Wow. Uh-oh. Yeah. Good call. That is a way to get back here. Tiki's like, I got nothing. And Tweety's like, well, I got nothing too, so that resolves. All right.
Big wolf. So
notably, only one white source here. Corehaven does not tap for white, I believe.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the drawbacks.
Yeah. So we have Standstill, which is probably fine against double. When you got double factory. And then Force Spike is, if we know about it, doesn't really do too much. Impulse is okay.
Just give him Standstill or the other 3, maybe? Or the other 4? That crazy?
What, Standstill and Corehaven? Or...
I would just give him Standstill, and then the other 4 is the other option.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, I kind of don't want to give him land drops, but splitting the white source and Standstill seem fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we split blue cards and land. Okay. And we're tapped out, so now we get to play Lightning Angel. We know there's no white source.
Okay.
So TK's only path here is to untap, draw a white source, and impulse into Sword to Plowshares. Or Hydroblast. Hydroblast will do this. And maybe that was the name from Meddling Mage. I'm not sure. All right, well, this might be the chance we can get a hit in here,
He's not
and
out of the
now,
woods yet,
yeah,
because the mage can be blocked by those factories now.
yes,
So
but
he's not
TK can't really
on the-
attack with them either.
No, and that's fine. Brian's at 20 or 19. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you could.
So this is good. I think if we can, maybe get another hit or two in, we'll be, in bolt and fire range maybe. I believe TK should have dropped to 7 here. We'll see if he updates his life total here momentarily.
Did he already attack?
I believe so. I believe we're at the instep and we're impulsing. Or maybe we're trying to attack and we're impulsing in response to see if we draw a Hydroblast.
Yeah, I think he's looking for action.
Having 8 1-mana answers to this angel is not a good spot to be in if you're Tweety. But a mana leak will do it here if we have one. Nope. Alright, so I'm going to assume TK is at 7.
Okay.
Very curious if Tweety can sneak one out here. Okay, we're going to fetch some more. So, notably, the only red source that Tweety has right now is this Shivan Reef that's behind his island here. And the 1 gemstone mine counter.
Be careful with that.
So I believe TK is now at 4. So I think TK just updated his duelist life counters there on the table, but did not update the virtual life counter. Sometimes that happens. Streaming magic can be difficult.
That one.
TK should be at 1, which means no Force of Will now. So like, nope, there it goes. Wow,
Okay.
Tweety sneaks one out of here.
That factor fiction was very, very prescient. I mean, did he hit? He didn't hit more than one land after that.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just even after that stack battle, right? TK got the angel off the table, but had to kind of nuke his hand in the process, and
Yeah.
Tweety had a follow-up angel. So that was a real strong turn, right? You have your Exalted, your Morph, you still have the Power Blast, still have Force, and I wonder if he had the Lightning Angel in hand, or if that was a top deck. I'd want to know that. That was pretty cool.
I mean, which angel would you roll out first? I'd probably deal with the morph because it's more complicated and has a bigger payoff if I can land it.
I definitely would want to counter the Morph because only Sword of Plowshares answers it, and it's probably Meddling Maged, whereas Hydroblast will answer it, or Blue Blast will answer it, whether it's in play or on the stack. So,
Right.
as chat pointing out, we are getting our money's worth in this match for sure. This is great. Both these competitors have had a journey to get here. Let's take a look at this bracket here, right? So this is the top 4. We have had our top 8 matches already play, so the quarterfinals. And TK did defeat Ty 2-1. Ty on a I believe a stasis deck, mono blue stasis. There we go. I believe game 1 actually went to Ty and decked TK out, I think is what happened. But TK has advanced. He's the 4th seed. And Tweety here did defeat our number 1 seed, Brian Hockey, who was undefeated going into the top 8 on the Lauren build. Hockey saying in chat he punted. Sure, I believe it. He kept saying a lot of the time in leading up to the match that Tweety's got bolts, he's got fire nices, he's got counter spells, he's got sword to plowshares against this creature combo deck. Should be favored. And we see he did emerge victorious there. So
Yeah, He punted, not Tweety's magnificently tight play.
Hey, Tweety has his moments. Tweety does have his moments. It's possible. Hockey's saying in chat here, game 2 on the last turn. I could have blown up his cursed totem so that I could gain 4 life off Spike, but did something irrelevant instead. All right, that's fair. Magic's hard. Tweety had a YOLO stroke for 3 to find 5 burn and did it. Okay. But to be fair, all 8 burn spells were still in the deck. Okay, so there you go. We don't believe that Tom Basketball punts.
Free throws only.
Free throws maybe. Yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay.
This Samson Football, he punts maybe?
Samson
technical
football
fouls. Oh, we technical fouled. Oh, come on.
Really? Oh, this is aggressive. Okay.
Oh, so Tweety does have the annuls probably on the draw here, and TK tries to get a...
Listen to us, no annuls, and then here we go.
I know. Well, you know, these blue players know how to play blue better than I do, that's for sure. TK tries to get cheeky with a quick standstill, and Tweety is at the ready. And TK either is unable to or chooses not to fight over it.
He's got another standstill, probably.
Yeah, either that or, you know, maybe for his, you know, it's just not worth it. You know, hopefully, for his sake, his hand wasn't dependent on resolving the standstill and having it trigger.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you think about it, Force of Will, discard, you know, you're throwing out 2 cards to draw 3.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
No pressure on the board.
Yeah, interesting. I want to know what was in TK's hand at that moment. I want to know did it get got, or was that a strategic decision? All right, looks like maybe Tweety might have frozen here. All right, well,
Here we go.
give our players a second to come back here for a moment.
I got ghosts in the stream tonight.
There we go. But hey, you know what? We're bringing you magic from across the globe, right? So Tweety, local here in Austin, Texas. TK in Japan, which is pretty cool.
I'm in Ohio.
You're in Ohio, right? So like, you know, the fact that we can do this at all is wonderful. You know, happy to work through a few speed bumps along the way. Alright, so Tweety's going to take his turn here. Play Riftstone Portal. That is a fantastic grab. Ease the mana base a bit. What are we tapping for 3 here? Oh no!
Yeah, baby.
We have an angel we can't flip. But if we draw a white source or have a white source in hand, Riftstone Portal makes this amazing and, you know, becomes the white source.
That's not Riftstone Portal. That's Reflecting Pool.
Reflecting Pool. Why do I always do this? I always do this Reflecting Pool. I call it Riftstone Portal.
You did this last time I commented.
I did. Yeah. I do this all the time. Okay, so chat, Riftstone Portal
is very similar.
Is this card, which is never going to be in Tweety's deck. It only makes colored mana if it's in your graveyard. Not what we want. What we want is Reflecting Pool. And Reflecting Pool is going to be much better. Let me get the image that actually matters. This one. And yeah, this is the card that Tweety played. It's actually in Tweety's deck. Can tap for any color mana that you can already make. So it's bad on turn 1. Gets better from there. Okay, so we're going to fight over this. So TK does have the counter magic. It looks like we cycled into Chroma's Vengeance to maybe find a different blue card.
Force pitch force, yeah.
Yep. And so that telegraphs to me that we're digging. Tiki's got 2 cards in hand after this draw step, it looks like.
That makes me feel pretty good if I'm Tweety.
Those 3 cards. Okay, so Tiki has 3 cards. I take that back. We do find the Mistress Factory. Yeah, I'd feel good if I was Tweety too, because I know I can drop a 4th land and maybe play another Angel here. But we don't have a way to fight through counter spell, so maybe we don't have anything. But you see the fourth land is the fetch land, which did represent flipping the angel. Oh, and here comes standstill number 2, when we only have 3 in the deck. Well, if you draw them like TK does, I could see why you'd only play 3.
Yeah. Oh, like we said earlier, maybe he just let that first one bite it because he knew he had the second one back up.
Sure. That I could see that. That makes sense.
For some pressure. Because now he's got the pressure on the board too.
Yeah, we do. All right, so we're going to fetch. I think this is in response, which may mean we've got a Fact or Fiction coming. We're going to grab an island and continue to not have white sources. That is either ambitious or signifies we just have another, white source in hand. Okay, we're going to Fact or Fiction in response to the standstill. I like this.
Okay.
This is great. Chat saying they are currently flying across the U.S. So when they said captive audience earlier, they weren't lying. Streaming in the air. Wow, I know we were in a distance, going to Japan, but now we are also a distance in the air.
Future
like
is crazy. Okay, this is a good 5.
Wow.
This is tough for TK to split.
I don't even know what I would think about this. Like, 3 of these cards murder my land.
Yeah.
And the Meddling Mage is, meddlesome.
Man, I don't know how. I guess I would split it like land, fire, ice, bolts, and then mage, fire, ice.
Yeah, I think we can, like, if we're assuming Tweety doesn't have a white source in hand, then we're splitting Meddling Mage in the white fetch land for sure. And then I think we. I would probably give like Bolt Meddling Mage and then 2 Fire and Ice, because I think Fire and Ice is worse.
Yeah, that's probably true. But fire ice draws cards.
It can if we play the ice half, but I think that ice is kind of whatever. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. This is hard.
This is hard.
Tweety says, "Hey, I want the Meddling Mage specifically," which tells me we do have the right white source in hand. Standstill will resolve, and we're going to attack for 2. Yeah, sure, that's fine. All right. Chat saying we would have split it 2 Fire and Ice plus everything else. I don't know.
I feel like the fire and ice gives him, like, if TK is just going to sit there and do nothing, he can still tap lands down or whatever. Whereas if he has a bolt, he's got to wait for a target that's, better than his face.
Sure. That's potential, especially like if we end up cracking the standstill somehow, having these ices left over.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Might be a good play to like end of turn tap down islands to kind of help force through a threat.
Right. That or
Sure.
his only white source or his, tap down the Mistress Factory.
All right. Does Tweety have a white source to turn on? Yes, we have the basic planes. We have our sunflowers. Got it. Okay. Blue-white, Meddling Mage coming in. Crack and standstill. Okay. TK's got 1 island. So representing Force of Will, we've gotten rid of 2 already. Or maybe Blue Blast, but Blue Blast doesn't do the trick here. Don't draw Force a blue card. Meddling Mage resolves. I'm going to assume and name Sword of Plowshares here.
Yeah.
But maybe we name, Blast.
Maybe.
Oh snap. Okay. Would you name Counterspell or Blue Blast here? I mean, knowing that it's 2 Hydroblast and 2 Blue Blast split, so the Meddling Mage isn't as devastating. Yeah.
I'd probably name Counterspell.
Core Haven. All right, pass. Interesting. This is interesting here. Like this. This is not as draw go, you know, two ships passing the night waiting for each other to flinch, as some people led me to believe.
This is one of those situations where TK has not enough mana to where if you had like some burn backup, swinging with both mages would be profitable.
Oh, sure.
Probably not, right?
We would need to have less life on TK's side, but that is something that Tweety's deck can do, right? The burn spells can provide extra reach.
Okay.
But here we're going to have a powder keg here. We'll see if Tweety has a counterspell or an annul. A Mana League not going to cut it here.
No, it's not.
And the keg is going to provide the sort of the perfect answer to the situation.
It's got to wait 2 turns, but yeah.
Because we can't even like just suicide our mages into this Mistress Factory because we've got a Core Haven to stop one of them, Factory to stop the other. Although I think there is a Fire and Dice in hand, so not as helpful. But hey, look, we got a hard cast Force of Will. So Tweety says no. I would like to not let that happen, and TK says, "Yeah, that
just
happens."
Prevents the damage it's dealt, right? Or it's dealing, right? Not the damage that's dealt to it.
Correct.
So you could, I mean, he could just eat one with the factory. I guess he could eat both of them, whatever.
Yeah.
So you could eat one with the factory and not worry about it taking any damage.
Block and kind of maze of it the other one. Sure.
Yeah. I'm saying like block the one you maze of it so that your factory won't die.
Sure. Yeah.
Like even to extra damage.
Sure. Yeah, I like this Fire and Ice thing, right? That's going on.
Right.
I think this is probably an ice.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna ice it so we can attack.
Boom.
All right, and we're gonna draw a card from here. So these ices in good shape here. So we'll get to attack for 2 because Core Haven will stop some of this. But that's still not nothing. All right,
That's the right direction. Don't sell your man short.
Okay, so 4 mana. Sabo's well. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Factory and Core Haven gone.
Not countered.
That is pretty spicy. Oh, but look at this. We do have the Force of Will, so TK does have the ability to battle over it. Mana League here would be great if we have it. TK's got 2 cards. Tweety's saying, okay, what can I do about this?
He's gotta have it, right?
Well, we've hard cast 1 force. Maybe we have another force. Yes, we do. Okay. What's the other blue card? Blue card looks like a Lightning Angel. I like this play. I like this.
I think Web is pretty devastating.
Yes. Going after Landstill's mana base is a good way to beat it. And most Landstill decks don't carry a lot of basics. They do carry a lot of, non-basics that have other abilities. I think, we see 5 basics in play right now. That's more basics than I usually see from Landstill. But
now his only way to win is to create justice.
Yes.
Like all his other threats are neutralized.
Yep. No, this is true.
To get that artifact off the table except for a Disenchant and a Chroma's Vengeance and the powder keg we saw.
Chat saying that Tweety's probably boarded out Mana Leaks. I think that makes a lot of sense. Game goes long, leaks become pretty awful.
Yeah, fair.
Chat saying that we think the mages are on Plow and Vengeance. Plow makes sense. I think Counterspell makes the most sense too. We've seen one Vengeance get cycled. Maybe there's another one in here. Let's see. There is only one. We look at this list. Only one in the 75. So that's it. We do have a Disenchant. So maybe there's a Disenchant coming here. Another
There was one on the side too, but if you're TK, like, I mean, the only reason to bring that in is web, right?
Yeah, and your second powder keg can still deal with it too, conceivably.
Right.
Which here it comes. Okay, so
you keep doing this, man.
So powder keg shows up now. Tweety, do we have the resources to fight over this? I don't think that we do anymore.
Well, he's got a window of at least 2 turns, right?
Right.
So that's
Maybe we have a seal of
damage.
cleansing, you know. And if we still have a nulls in this deck, there could be a nulls, you know, around here. That might be a card we see played
you
here.
gotta cast it.
I'd probably snap it off if I had it.
Sit on that
Wow.
one. Be not wise.
Chat saying we can ice a keg in response to it adding the second counter on the upkeep to buy an extra turn.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. We are 2 fire dice down at least, I believe. 1 discarded to fact or fiction and 1 cast. So we only have 2 left, potentially. This is a complicated situation if Tweety doesn't have the clean answer for it. That looks like it may have resolved.
I mean, if he has a force, he would just hard cast it, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
No real decision in there. And maybe he's doing some math.
It's possible. So powder keg, why is this an answer? This is an answer because you can put counters on it at the beginning of your upkeep. And then you can tap and sacrifice it to destroy each artifact and creature with mana cost equal to the number of fused counters. So everything that Tweety has in play costs 2, which is a troublesome. So we don't have a good clean answer. We just tap out TK instead with the mana leak. So we do have some number of mana leaks still in play. Which is you know, something to do. Now how are we gonna capitalize on tapping out the land? Why did we do that? We're gonna play anything this turn?
Maybe he's hoping for that sweet top deck juice.
Okay, so we caught up with left totals. TK's at 7. That is dangerously close to, you know.
Just casting an angel. What is this? 7
Ooh,
mana?
no, this is fireball. Oh no, this is stroke. This is stroke. Okay. I'm hoping it was like a fireball effect or something. I think Tweety and I talked about he thought he should be playing fireball, and I think my brain said he is, but so we're gonna cost a stroke, which is great. Good reason to capitalize on capping out the lands.
Fireball would have gotten him to 1.
Yeah, and that probably would have been enough. All right, counter goes up to 1. Now we're just an attack and a bolt away. Can TK find a blocker? No, we're gonna pass. Okay. Sword of Plowshare is not good enough. That has been meddled.
Wow. Is it a Cinderella story?
We're gonna find out. I'm really curious here because if we just have like burn in hand, right? A bolt bolt is good enough.
Bolt. You want 2 in case of a counter, sure.
I still think counterspell's named, but maybe I'm wrong. But
This is very intense. You should get the heavy cat breathing meme up for this moment.
yeah, I think it's so each league I try to do a little something that improves the stream a little bit. I think the next thing is to get like another stream deck and just like prepare all of the memes ready to go.
A meme panel.
Okay, so we're gonna try Lightning Angel to just close it out, and we do have the Blue Blast. Do we have the Pyroblast back?
What does Uncle T have?
Ooh.
He's thinking.
I mean, if we can resolve this angel, then the game's over. But looks like no. Looks like Tiki does have the ability to survive. So we may be just a moments away from an attack step. We'll see. Angel again. Chat is calling for. Sure. One-time dealer, Angel again.
For what it's worth, TK could throw up one soldier.
He could throw. Oh my gosh, that would have been epic. TK is going to drop down to 3, and we are a lightning bolt away from Tweety coming back here. We've cast 1 lightning bolt, or at least there's 1 in the graveyard.
Counting cards.
Tweety does have quite a few cards here. Haste on an Angel is important.
Very important.
But okay, so we're gonna review. We got
so
2 Fire Knights in the graveyard, 1 bolt,
bolts,
2 Force of Wills.
Fires.
Wow. Okay. So the counter is gonna go to 2. And we're gonna find a Dust Bowl. Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
We don't have a basic mountain, so theoretically we could find an avenue to cut off red from Tweety. Now, Tweety does have 3 red sources outside of the reflecting pools, so that might be difficult and slow.
Yes.
All right, so
But that's what TK's deck is, difficult and slow.
sure. All right, attack for the win. TK did not misclick. All right, so that happens.
Oof.
All right, what is Tweety going to do here? So now Sword to Plowshares is live. Now theoretically Counterspell might be live. I think we're going to. Okay, I was really hoping that was another Meddling Mage, but it is an Impulse.
TK forgot to update his life total. We're at 3, right?
He did, yeah. He is at 3. What a game. What a match so far. Worth the wait, I would say. Worth the wait. So I'm pretty sure if I was piloting Tweety's deck, I would have lost already by just misusing my resources. And Tweety has done very well in not doing that, I think. And I think Tiki's done well with what he's got. I think this particular game has not been what is normal, I think.
Tweety's just had a lot of good answers.
Yeah, they've lined up well this time.
So be able to smack some things down that would have been not backbreaking, but not good.
Yep. So Core Haven is going to untap, which is going to make Lightning Angel a little bit more difficult down the road. We're really looking to resolve a bolt here. Right. TK has updated his life total. He is at 3. All right. 2 mana. Fire. All right. Go to 1.
Kervek's Torch might be the card Tweety wants.
Yeah, that can become uncounterable. Sure.
Well, it's just pay 2 extra to counter it.
Ooh, okay, we're gonna see fire again. All right. Do you have a counterspell? Is this it? Yep. You can't force a will this one. You're gonna have to hard cast it.
Sure, you can.
I mean, counterspell is live now, and if counterspell is the card that we have, I'm gonna be. So we're gonna animate and swords it.
Animate.
Yeah, so we're gonna animate our.
Right, okay.
Our creature and swords it to go to 3 and then take 2 to go back down to 1.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Backdoor plan there. So now Tweety's out of Fire Nice.
Oh right. Okay. Wow.
And he's going to cast this Factor Fiction.
So much happening.
Which is exactly where you want to be if you're TK. Wow, what a play.
Just crawling back.
Okay, so we've got Counterspell, Force, and Lands.
Not great.
I mean, I'd give
what?
him the Force of Will and like 2 lands or something, and like the fetch.
Force Will is useless, right? Because
I'd give the fetch land over to the Counterspell, because the fetch land doesn't do anything, and force you to cost 5 mana.
Yeah, I would put the. What? I don't know. That's not. I don't know.
Yeah,
that.
I don't know about that split. I think you gave TK the 2 cards he wanted most.
That was such an easy choice. Like, here's 3 cards that will kill you if you use them.
Yeah.
Here's 2 useful cards.
Interesting.
Yeah, right?
So the Counterspell is gonna be a bit more difficult to play around.
I guess
the Force of Will.
He's not worried about losing to the man land, right? He's got plenty of time to figure that out.
I mean, maybe. We do have time to figure that out. This is true. But we're tapping the Dust Bowl. I don't know if I would tap the Dust Bowl. I think I might want to try to go for Tweety's lands.
I'd go bowling.
You know, if he doesn't do anything at the end of turn, you know, kill a reef. Kill a Battlefield Forge.
You'd want to keep it up in case of, if they target your land and you can sack it in response to mess up one of their lands.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? TK still in the game. I might not have been if I was in TK's shoes, so we'll see.
Fact or Fiction's a hell of a card.
Grand Coliseum, all right.
Interesting. Okay.
Probably just a necessary way to get some mana sometimes when you're a 3-color deck. Mana notoriously bad in this format. But all right, so Tweety's down to 7, so we don't have too much more time left. We don't have any more Fire and Ices. We have a Mom. Mom can attack.
She can.
I mean, well, it can get Core Havened, but maybe it blocks, maybe it does something. Okay, we're gonna count how many Fire and Ice. There are 4 Fire and Ice in the graveyard. Oh, is that 3? No, there's got to be a 4th one. 3, 4. Okay, yeah, all 4 is there. So we can't tap the Core Haven. Well, I don't blame Tweety for going for it a few turns back. I think you're just going to make TK have it.
Down to 1.
All right, is TK passing the turn and being conservative? Tweety's got 4 cards. We know TK's got a Counterspell, which is awkward. And because we have Counterspell instead of Force of Will, we have more mana to work with, than we might have otherwise.
He's got the 2 islands just chilling there. Friendly little reminder.
Chat saying that we think we had the Fire and Ice, the turn Keg went off, and maybe we didn't need to let that happen. Yeah. And if that's the case, then, maybe this game is different. Although, maybe TK had the Blue Blast for that too, so, Blue Blast would have counted the Fire and Ice.
Fair.
I don't know. It's hard. Magic's a hard game, and this is a very difficult matchup to navigate. Ice is blue. So ice is blue. I guess it's blue on the stack and not red because you're only casting the blue half. That's fair.
The old rules, it used to be both, but I think now it's just one or the other. I don't know. Don't quote me.
Interesting thought. That might have been the path to victory there.
It was the whole Tybalt scandal.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. That whole thing caused some rules to change.
Now hold up. Did TK just put a land in the graveyard?
I think we are.
He's stacking stuff to Dustbolt. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would assume, because we can't fetch.
Did you just fetch? That would have been crazy.
You can't fetch. I mean, you could. You do technically have one left to pay. I do not believe that is what TK is attempting to do. Oh, maybe he just discarded the hand size. Maybe that's where we're at.
Oh, wow.
Play and a Dakar Wastes. Okay. Wow, so this mom, though, is proving that TK doesn't have an answer that he trusts. Like Corehaven might do it, but he does not trust it right now.
Wow.
That tells me he does not have an answer to Lightning Angel. You know, or at least doesn't feel confident that his one counterspell is enough. Impulse, though, surely going to find something. Gotta find something here. Man, I want to know what's in each player's hands. This is the only part of webcam magic that really sometimes, you know, just causes all the drama, right? I want all the perfect information. We're gonna cast Wrath of God. No, wait. We're not casting Wrath of God. We're just discarding. Okay, sure. Hand size it is. Yep. Oh, that makes sense. Why tap out for that? Which would get rid of our white sources for Corehaven.
Wow. Again with the graveyard.
It makes sense, though, that TK has to play very tight here, because if he flinches the wrong way, the game is over.
When so many moves you can usually make are off the table. Like
right.
No fetching, no forcing, so kind of forces you to reevaluate what's in your hand.
Okay, so we're going to discard a Sword of Plowshares. Wow.
Can I target mom with that?
I mean, it makes sense with this mom in play. You can't Swords the mom. And if you want to play Lightning Angel, you can't Swords the Lightning Angel with the mom in play.
You can Swords the mom and just put Tweety, like just instead of discarding it, tap a land, Swords it. It's just messing with him, you know?
Sure. I think TK is just, he feels a little vulnerable with only one white source, I think. Like if he does that, he'll only have one white source available for Corehaven and maybe, you know, other swords or something. So I think he's...
Fair.
I mean, that tells me he's got at least another swords in hand. Like, I don't think you do that if you don't have another swords. Wrath of God is gone.
Sheesh.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Wrath doesn't hit haste creatures very, very easily. So I think Tweety might just be like trying to sculpt his hand, look for a way to push through a Lightning Angel.
He's got so much mana, he could do double Lightning Angel and...
Yes, we could. You know, or even like a, maybe, get a fight over a Lightning Angel and then maybe resolve an Exalted Angel, maybe?
I think I'd lead with the Exalted just because I'd want the hasty guy.
Sure. Or just, make TK fight over stuff and then bolt him. TK's still at 1. All right, so we've got the Morph Creature. Okay. We found step 1, which is something that flies. If this resolves, Corehaven is the only thing that beats it at the moment.
Yeah, mom doesn't protect from lands.
Right. 2 Wrath of Gods on the board. I can't imagine there's any more, or in the bin. I can't imagine there's any more.
I think there's 2. Yeah, there's 2 all day.
We have only 2 in the 75, so...
Is the Vengeance down already this game?
Vengeance is down. That got cycled. You can see it in the top of the graveyard there.
Sweepers are gone.
Yep. Both powder kegs are gone. So yeah, this resolves. The only answer is swords and Corehaven. And swords is checked by mom. So this is a good test. We know TK has a counterspell. Actual counterspell. TK does have a full grip, so there could be any number of other things in there. We can't blue blast this. So this is rough. All right, we're gonna see a counter spell. Looks like we're TK very much hesitant to not think this through. We are playing untimed rounds in our top 8.
Which is why this round is going on 2 hours.
Yeah, it's an hour. We started an hour and 15 minutes ago, so it's an hour and 15 minutes. You know, we did start late, everybody. We did. This is the first match of the evening. We did start 45 minutes late for technical difficulties, but okay. So we're going to.
We're here. We're doing it.
Wait.
Decree.
Are we cycling Decree for?
With all his white mana?
Well, we get to see if he responds, right? Because, well, yeah, this is with all the white mana, and that is sketchy, right? Because this is not.
Well, it sounds like we got a hard cast force and a counter spell in our future potentially.
Okay, so Decree of Justice here. We don't have to pay for anything until actually trigger it resolves.
No. Can't tap the man land.
So
this is up here. Turn, right?
When you cycle Decree of Justice, you may pay X. So he does have to decide. So he's playing 4. Okay, that's a way to maybe push through some damage. That's fine. So now TK is saying, hey, I've got your Lightning Angel beat at least 2 ways with 2 counter spells. I'm going to beat it with actual counterspell. Oh, we're going to stifle the token creation. Oh, he did bring in the stifle. Holy moly, waiting for that moment. Okay, so we're going to counter. Okay, so now we're trying to counter the angel.
That was absurd.
I think the game's over, though, because there's no more blockers for this mom.
Wow.
Lightning bolt! Oh! Doesn't matter, though. And we're going to mana leak with the second counter spell.
Well,
oh my goodness.
I can honestly say the only thing
Look at that stack.
That any more exciting is the breathing cat meme.
Gave the win goes to Tweety. What am I doing?
That was a hell of a stack.
Holy moly. Okay, so we had Exalted Angel. Then we Decree of Justice, tapped our blocker, capped our white mana and Core Haven, and then tapped our Mishra's Factory. Tried to make 4 blockers. That got stifled. 1 of Stifle. That was wild. Tried to counter that. Then we Lightning Bolted. That tried to get countered, and then we mana leaked that. Holy moly. Whoa! That was...
I thought we were at the end of Tweety's turn.
But
that was pre-combat?
Oh, no, maybe it wasn't pre-combat. Maybe that was at the end of Tweety's turn, and that's when we tried to make tokens. That's fair, and in which case then the Lightning Bolt was wonderful.
That's why the bolt was necessary.
But chat's saying that's in response to Angel. I think that was in response to Angel, because if you...
You're right, it was, yeah, so if he's casting Angel, then tapping the man land was probably wrong.
Yeah. If it is in response to Angel, tapping all of that, I mean, you don't expect to get stifled at all. But
no. But, like, he hasn't attacked yet. And you have your Core Haven. You probably want something else.
Maybe. So chat is saying that it's pretty sure TK's mana should be ups. You pay X on resolution. So let's take a look at that, right? Decree of Justice. When you cycle Decree of Justice, you may pay X. So you cycle it, cycling goes on the stack, and then this trigger goes on the stack because you cycled it. You may pay X. If you do, put X tokens into play. So that goes on the stack. When you go to resolve that trigger before you draw a card, so your stack is still full, you have to choose to pay your land. So, and pay for your tokens, which is what we ended up getting to, I believe. And that is what Tweety then went ahead and stifled. So I think that's how that resolved.
Like, why did TK feel like he needed to even do the decree thing?
Because
that's what got him out of the game.
My best guess is that maybe he wanted blockers. Maybe he just wanted to we can check the angel this way by until it flips.
But he didn't really need him at that moment. Like, he could have saved that for end of turn.
Yeah,
that seems like a crucial misplay.
So chat's saying if we stifle the trigger, you don't pay X because you're only paying mana when it's resolving. So if it's resolving and you're tapping mana, we've missed the opportunity to stifle it. I think that's what they're trying to say.
Well, that's the ruling, and that's crazy too.
That is crazy. Interesting.
Yeah, I just don't see the benefit in Decree of Justicing at that point in his turn.
I think TK was playing it very conservatively, which is what you need to do in that position. You've got Core Haven, you've got a blocker on the field, you've got at least a counter spell in hand. We saw another counter spell.
He had two, right?
2 counter spells, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why he insisted on keeping the 4 blue.
Yeah.
But
wow. How wild was that, chat? That was pretty cool. But while I would like to go ahead and keep talking about that, we do have a lot more magic to bring you, and I want to get that to you so that way you get more magic, but also so our players can get going because we're running a little bit behind. So go ahead and stick around. We're going to take a brief intermission to queue up our next match, and we will be back shortly.
Hey, I'm going to get a snack.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Romancing the Stones Middle School League. School's out. My name is Robert. I'm joined in the booth here with Angelo. Angelo's finishing off a nice, tasty snack. How's it going, Angelo?
It's going great, man. I got pizza.
Oh, pizza sounds great.
And, yeah, so we're in it.
We are in it. So, we've got Brian on the left, Kai on the right. What are these players playing, Angelo?
I'm trying to pull this up right now. I'm trying to find where it is.
No worries. I got you. I got you right here.
So we got Necro.
Yeah.
This is like mono black madness.
It's like it's mono black, like suicide black Necro Tendrils. So we Brian's trying to make a fast turn one play, whether it's an Tuco Shade or a Negator or a Necropotence. And then just trying to kind of go from there. So a fast clock followed by sort of a combo finish. A couple hits from Negator, and then you Necro and play a Tendrils. Your opponent could be dead.
I like the use of Negator to get over the hump of 16 damage.
Oh,
it
yeah.
seems like that can always do 16.
Yep.
Never all the way.
Exactly, right? And we do have the, tower to kind of go with our Necros to kind of let us keep kind of going. But that's kind of our plan. Now, Kai, on the other hand, Kai's playing a different combo deck. Kai's playing a Hermit Druid sort of breakfast deck. So it's using Hermit Druid to dump our graveyard, or our library into our graveyard, and then through some shenanigans with Unearths and our Shapeshifter, we're going to assemble some sort of combo that either lets us attack, with a big giant creature, or maybe even shoot our opponent with a Triskelion with a million counters. A lot of different ways to kind of go.
Phyrexian Devourer.
Yeah.
Is the fling in here?
There is no fling.
Okay.
But we're going to start off here. It looks like Brian did keep 7. Kai, on second seed, is on the play. Starts off with the Duress, which is going to be one of the easiest ways to kind of disrupt what Brian is doing. Because if we look here, this is at least a turn 1 Shade, almost a turn 2 Necro here. We're going to end up taking the Lotus Petal, which is a big dagger for Brian. So notably, this is a rematch, right? We had this same matchup on stream. I think week 5. I think it was week 5. It might have been week 6. But in any case, both players trying to make it back to each other and win here. Chat pointing out that that Negator can make you sacrifice your Necro after you've drawn cards, which is great.
Yeah. It's cute.
So Kai gonna go ahead here, untap, play another Llanowar Waste, and deploy.
Okay.
We'll deploy the Hermit Druid.
Very dangerous.
It is very dangerous. We're going to fire off some Urza's Baubles here.
So when Kai goes off, you're going to have to explain this to me.
I'm going to have to explain it to you a half step behind Kai so that I can remind myself about exactly this combo work. Because there's a couple different lines to go through it. So it depends also, does Kai have the Unearth in hand? Sometimes he actually has to use Corrosion Reclamation to put cards from his graveyard back on top of his library to get his combo. And then he has to order his graveyard in the right order because graveyard ordered matters with the Shapeshifter. Right. So there's a lot of type play that kind of has to happen. Kai no stranger to it. Oh, and it looks like one of our cards we have cantripped into a Snuff Out, which is a perfect answer to this Hermit Druid. So it's a nice thing. It's also a nice card to have when you're necroing, because you can then draw a few extra cards, more than 7, and still play some cards. Losing life when you're on the necro plan can be rough, but it looks like we do have another play with this Ivory Tower. So we have, looks like 5 cards in hand We know 3 of them. So
No lands.
no
That's
land
trouble.
to follow up with.
How many is he running total? Is this one of those light on lands decks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 16 lands. Plus 2 Lake of the Dead.
Plus 2 Lake of the Dead and the 4 petals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man after my own heart.
All right, so we're going to Cabal Therapy, which is certainly going to name these Nantico Shades. But might name the Necro. Maybe we care about the Necro with this Ivory Tower in play. But I suspect, with this Birds in hand, that we will probably just name the 2 cards we know we can get rid of. So we have Tendrils and Lake of the Dead. Okay. Not great. But we're going to reduce the cards in hand, so this Ivory Tower is not going to gain much life. But conceivably, we're not far off from this Necro.
Good grab on the Shades. Yeah, he's just a bird's sack away from it.
Kai has shown a willingness to kind of throw birds under the bus sometimes to maybe resolve some of these things. Necro can be very dangerous, and it really is kind of a linchpin sometimes in Brian's deck. And it is going to be one of the ways that Brian can refuel to race. So it looks like we have the Unearth for the Hermit Druid. Even better. So, 2 combo decks doing their thing. Trying to interact and get there.
Not super worried about him getting the 3 mana, right?
You know what? If we can draw, another land, or even if we draw like a Cabal Ritual, we could theoretically cast that and get the Necro in play.
Lotus Petal, yeah. Okay.
Let's pull up Lake of the Dead here.
Lake of the Dead, you have to sack an untapped swamp for it, I think.
Survey says
Untapped swamp, okay.
you can sacrifice any swamp in any state, and then it will tap for mana. So if we draw the Cabal Ritual, we did. Okay, so we can. We're gonna play the. Do we even have Threshold? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we do have Threshold now. Okay, so that's gonna make 5 mana, which is gonna be unfortunate because we are gonna take some mana burn. But we are gonna get to.
I'm gonna have you commentate my matches just personally, so I draw everything I need.
Right? Announcer bonus here. All right, so we're gonna get to Necro, which is gonna allow Brian to draw a number of cards and really put himself in a good position to find another snuff out.
Those cards. He's gonna set them aside, not draw them, Robert. Come on.
Oh, okay, that's fair. We are setting these aside. This is how this works. Okay, so we're gonna go down to 6. I like this. That gives us 4 life to play with for snuff out, and then it puts it at 2. Potentially, which means we can't accidentally get attacked by maybe this this creature, or something like that. We have a little bit of life to play with.
Sure.
So, I take it back. We went on to 4. Okay, that is very different. To snuff out, all right. Right, we need 4 life for snuff out?
I think you do.
And that's how we make sure we don't lose next turn, unless Brian really knows this combo better than I do. And knows that we can't lose from this position with only 1 card on top right now. So yeah, snuff out, you do
Does he have
pay
mana
4 life.
But he's not going to see the cards anyways. Irrelevant.
He'll see them on with cleanups. Like, they'll go to hand, and before he has to discard, he has the chance to cast it.
Well, how much? Okay, right. So.
Oh, but he doesn't have a swamp, so he can't snuff out anyway.
Well, there's that too.
Chat telling me how this card works. Reading the card explains the card, everybody. It's just science. Okay, so clearly I have not played enough Snuff Out in my life. I did not play Snuff Out in my Necro deck.
Does Brian take mana burn here?
That's probably why he went from 4 to 6, or from 6 to 4.
Got it.
Which explains quite a bit. Okay, so chat's saying GG. I don't know if this is GG yet. It really depends on what is in Kai's hand. We are activating this, so we're gonna flip our deck into our graveyard. Kai is pulling out his combo cards and ordering them up here. If Kai can reanimate the right card this turn, yes. Otherwise, we won't have what we need. We may have to Corrosion Reclamation. And it looks like that's what we're going to do first. So we're going to Corrosion Reclamation right now.
Okay.
And then... Oh, we're doing this on upkeep. Okay, so birds, unearth. Okay, so I think we have what we need. And yeah, so we get the angel. Angel brings back the Psychotog. We can then flash it back to put it back on top of the library. And then we can remove all the rest of the deck from the graveyard and then reveal, leaving like just a chroma on top. And a chroma has haste, and we have a big giant creature that we can attack with.
Sure. Yeah.
Does that make sense? Right? Did you follow that?
Not really, but I believe you.
All right. So for those watching at home, if you don't know how we got to where we got, we went to our untap step, and then we went to our upkeep. In the upkeep, we activated the Druid with 2 mana untapped. Druid flips our library into our deck. Kai goes ahead and reorders and finds some couple of key cards, one of which is Corrosion Reclamation.
You the whole library because you have no basics on the deck, right?
Correct. Yes. Okay. We are playing open deck lists. Brian already knows this. So we shortcut, don't have to show anybody. Use Corrosion Reclamation's flashback cost, which is 2, to put cards on top of his library. So then in the draw step, we go ahead and draw the unearth we might need. With the birds in play, we have the last mana to do that. So Unearth gets our Shapeshifter, which comes into play as the angel, as the Karmic Guide, rather, which then brings back the Psychotog, and then we sacrifice the Psychotog to our Cabal Therapy to put it back on top to make our Karmic Guide Shapeshifter into a Psychotog Shapeshifter. Then we can remove cards from the bottom of our library until we basically are left with only the chroma on top.
Got it.
And because we remove enough to make it very big, because we just put 60 cards into the graveyard, it is big enough to attack for lethal, especially when Brian is at 4.
And Unearth is what makes this happen at instant speed.
No, this is still in main phase. So this is still main phase. The Corrosion Reclamation happened in the upkeep. We went to draw step to draw a card, and in the main phase, this all happened at sorcery speed. Right? Makes sense. So let's take a look at this list, right? So we've got Kai's list, right? We've got the Karmic Guide is part of this combo. Technically, there's a Palancron line. You can also do Phyrexian Devourer line as well. You do have Survival of the Fittest in this deck, so you can kind of piece together your kind of full English breakfast combo on top of the Hermit Druid aspect of things. A lot of kind of different avenues here. You only have 2 shapeshifters. But only need 2 when you have things like Hermit Druid or Survival to kind of put this in into the play area. Sideboard for something like this. What do we've got? We've Kai has shown sometimes he boards out the Hermit Druid package. If his opponents have good anti-graveyard hate.
Maybe Meddling Mage?
Meddling Mages absolutely will come in. They came in, so in the stream that we had with both these players played before, game 2, Kai brought in both Meddling Mages and drew them both, and they proved very useful. So I definitely see those coming in. If your opponent's playing Tendrils of Agony, naming Tendrils of Agony is a good way to stop that from happening. So that's definitely something we should see. We might see naturalizes for the towers if we're worried about game going long, and having that as a way to just climb back out of range.
Realist and Orangutan.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of work.
Theoretically too, Brian could gain enough life that Kai can't win through his combo. His combos are not infinite. They are big, but they're not infinite. So we'll see, if we kind of go that route.
What's Kai using to gain life, though?
Kai won't gain life if Brian gains life. And Brian can gain life because he's got 4 ivory towers.
Right. Well, you're saying Brian can get out of reach of Kai.
It's possible, right? If you're always gaining, 3 or 6, a turn, if you draw, get another ivory tower, you could get out of reach maybe in a couple turns. But
Second bug's pretty explosive.
It could be. Now, on Brian's side, we do have the 3 Tormod's Crypts. Those are very useful. Those will definitely stop the graveyard side of things cold. We have some Contagions, which can help kill our Hermit Druids, if that's what we're worried we're going to be. And some Snuff Outs that will, could stop maybe some other shenanigans and things like that.
It's probably worth noting that the Karmic Guide is pro-black.
Pro-black, that can definitely help, especially against the Negator.
Probably not super relevant, but...
No, I think we're at the point where we actually have an active Karmic Guide. We're probably comboing, but I don't know. Kai's deck is capable of playing a fair game. It's possible we might see some Dystopias. It's kind of a good way to answer some permanents from the green-white deck,
Yeah. Maybe.
So, Dystopia. Sweet card.
Funny card.
Kill of upkeep, 1 life, pay 1 life. But during each player's upkeep, if that player controls a green or white permanent, he or she sacrifices the permanent. So it's a good way to answer the survival of the fittest. We're going to unmask here, pitching Necro. See what we get.
Dystopia.
I love this because now we get to see what is happening here. And we take the Unearth. We know that that's part of our combo. Assuming Kai, is on that plan, we do see really that it's a shapeshifter in hand. So the Psychotel could start pitching and could immediately, start trying to find some of the combo. However, Brian does have the turn 1 Necro. So we do follow up with, this is turn 2. Turn 2 Necro. So we do Cabal Ritual into Necro. Man after my own heart. Looks like we take 10 cards. I'm on board. I like this. I'm looking for some fast mana to get a Negator in play maybe, and then follow up with Tendrils.
No, let's drop a pedal and a tower. And
you want to drop? Well, we can't. Well, we can't drop the pedal and tower yet. We have to run our end step. But
right.
I wish. Oh man, if I could play the cards I drew off Necro that turn, be still my heart.
So bad at that card.
So I played a Tendrils of Agony Storm deck this league. So I've played a lot of Necro games this league. So it's definitely top of mind for me. And every time I just say I want to keep all these cards. Why do I have to give them away? I say as if Necro wasn't already busted. Right, chat? Is Necro a fair Magic card? These men are getting their number 8s on. Sure, yeah.
Asked people in 1995, I thought it was a stupid Magic card.
Sure. I believe it. Absolutely believe it. Alright, so Kai is going to reveal his draw step to be a Birds of Paradise, a card we are not interested in pitching to the survival. So we don't have an immediate threat here, but we do have the ability to kind of build one. But now Brian's going to get a chance to kind of go off here. Tormod's Crypt is going to make Kai's plan more dangerous to pull off.
It's resilient.
We may have boarded out the Druids so that we're not all in on this graveyard plan, but the full English breakfast combo still requires a graveyard to go off.
We don't know that Kai boarded it out. He probably did, though. Seems wise against 4 or 3 crypts.
Yeah, it's, you know, in some of the conversation I've had with Kai through this league, he's mentioned that, you know, sometimes he'll do this game too, you know, when his opponent knows what's up, because his opponent's going to bring in more graveyard hate, and this way he's less reliant on the graveyard, because he doesn't just keep a Hermit hand and then get got. So we do have Survival. Survival can grab any number of things. Like, we could grab a monkey and blow that up if we need to. We're going to go ahead and pitch the Shapeshifter here. See what we get.
Okay.
So we're unmasking. This unmask is on the stack, and we're going to pitch. So I guess we just wanted to make sure we get some activations here. Maybe present a target that is also as enticing as Psychotog. Interesting. Yeah, chat. So Porterkin there. You made it in time. We did start 45 minutes tardy. So this is match 2. After this match, we will have our finals. Glad you could make it.
We're doing finals tonight, too?
Yes. If you can't stay for finals, then do not worry, but we are going to play finals.
Well, why not? I might have to get more snacks.
Hey, do you know what? Any excuse for more snacks.
I haven't watched enough stream this go-around anyways.
Not a state-based effect. It is a static ability. This is true. All right, so we're going to... We grab the Mox Monkey. I call it Mox Monkey. That's not actually Mox Monkey. It's the orangutan.
That's not Mox Monkey.
It is not Mox Monkey. It is a monkey that can still interact with Moxen.
Facts.
So we're not completely, you know, degenerate here. All right, so... Gorilla Shaman is what I'm looking for, right?
Yes, Gorilla Shaman.
Gorilla Shaman is
Mox
the Mox Monkey. Everybody, this is the Mox Monkey. Tap 1 mana, destroy Mox. Okay, so we took Psychotog here. We say, yeah, you can have a 2/2 eat my Tormod's Crypt. I'm going to continue to, you know, draw more cards. Now, interestingly enough, the monkey does represent a way to interact with the tower. So if we draw a tower off of these cards, 1 tower isn't good enough. We will need a second tower. Now, okay, we're going to deploy the monkey now, which is going to necessitate an activation of this Tormod script. Which makes sense. Which means tower, you know, next turn could be live. And we may have see a Tendrils hand, you know, come out of here. This monkey's probably on blocking duty, but we'll see kind of what comes next.
Shades are dangerous.
Yeah. Well, you know, if we're just a couple cards in the graveyard away from threshold, so maybe, you know, a couple of rituals could easily turn the shade into something real big. But let's see here. We've got 2 turns with Necro. If we don't see something big this turn, Brian's really unlucky, or maybe this isn't the strategy to be.
If you look at 15 cards.
Yes. All right, we're gonna go to 1. We're gonna snuff out. I'm assuming snuffing out the blocker. Sure. Okay. I think we're gonna go for a big turn here.
Okay.
Chat asking if we can explain the fear of crypt. I think at this moment, it is mostly it enables us to go and start our game and try to get some advantage with squeeze and survival.
Fear is like just taking off the safety valve.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Oh no. Brian, where'd your camera go? Mr. Elgato camera there. All right, let's there we go. It's back. Nope, it's not back.
Nice.
All right. You got it?
Guess we wait.
We'll wait here for a moment while players figure this out. So we'll just take a moment here. So, you know, sometimes this happens, right? We will get the right battlefields here. You know, sometimes our players have technical difficulties. You know, we are not streaming from studios. We're streaming from our home webcam environments. And sometimes, you know, things get a little weird. But hey, you know what? That's okay. We roll with it. We have fun because it means we get to bring sweet, sweet middle school magic to you. And I see what I see here is it looks like we are casting just the Tendrils for 4. No, Snuff Out, Shade, and Tendrils. So yeah, that's not too bad, right? We get to Lake of the Dead it?
No, Lake of the Dead, that's right. Sure.
Comes back 30 cards in hand. Yeah, maybe. All right, so we're going to go ahead and Tendrils for 6, I believe, and then attack for 2. And we're going to go ahead and Necro some more cards. So we're going to draw more. I think that makes sense. Looking for either another Tendrils or possibly a tower. But this is starting to show how Brian's deck, you know, this sort of half Necro combo deck, half sort of Black Suicide deck, you know, fits together, right? The small Tendrils, right? You know, how many times do we cast fair Tendrils and think that this was good? If we're not casting Tendrils for lethal, why bother at all? Well, Brian says, because I can attack you for the rest.
I'm going to draw 4 more cards now.
Yeah. I mean... Well, let's see. Lake of the Dead. Do we have to sacrifice an untapped swamp?
No, you just sack a swamp. Some of those alliances lands require that you sack an untapped land
right.
when they come into play, like the blue one and the red one.
Okay, so we can just cast whatever. Mm-hmm. We can tap this. So we've got 5 mana, you know, represented in the battlefield, which is 5 extra damage here, which is 9. So Brian's already representing lethal attack next turn if Kai has no blockers. And Brian does nothing else. So already, Kai's in a tight spot if he's not doing math. Okay, so we're going to pitch a birds, all right. Leaving 1 birds back to block.
The gemstone, interesting.
Well, it doesn't cost mana, it doesn't cost life. And that is not something Kai has enough of in this moment.
The old Tainted Wood, Curse of the Tainted Wood.
Yep. That is that a Tainted Wood or is that a Llanowar Waste? I think that's Llanowar Waste. That's got to be Llanowar Waste, right?
Yeah. I guess that one would cost him life too, wouldn't it?
Yes, they both, all of them would. Okay, so yeah, so that is most definitely a Llanowar Waste. That art does match.
You're right. See, for the last league, I bought Chinese copies of Llanowar Waste and the other one.
Sure.
And I had a Tainted Wood, and I had a real hard time telling them apart.
They do look similar.
I had to look at the expansion symbol to figure out which is which.
So the only advantage I have with that is by commentating some of these matches where some of our players have played kind of a creatureless rock deck, where the only green sources are the treetop villages, the 4 pain lands, and the 4, you know, corrupted lands, right?
Right.
Or tainted lands. So you get real good real fast trying to pick them out because those are the only 2 options that you get, and you figure it out. But that's the only reason I think I can tell them apart now. All right, so Kai, what is Kai grabbing here?
I don't think he knows yet.
No, he's looking at his deck for the answer. And I've done this before. I've, you know, cast a tutor or a wish or something that lets me look and see, do I have a way out of here? I don't know. Because right now, if nothing changes, Kai's going to have to chump block with his birds. He's going to lose the birds. He's going to drop down to, potentially 2, and then be facing down 2 blockers with 1 creature in hand. So, like, we're running out of options quickly. Which is, how Brian's deck, wants to draw this kind of up, right? Get enough interaction disruption. We've unmasked, and we've got our Necro to keep refueling, so we don't have the card disadvantage from some of these spells.
I mean, he could cast a Psychotog, but that wouldn't be.
We only have 1, and it's removed.
Oh, it's gone. You're right.
It's exiled. We're never seeing that again.
In trouble. Okay.
Yeah, I think Kai's trying to figure out, can I grab something that helps me survive and then play towards winning, or can I just grab something that helps me survive, but then I can't win the game? I mean, you can't cast a lot of good things. Like a meddling mage right now would be fine. Can we get another 2/2 to block and maybe trade with something for some mana being used? But no, I mean,
that'd be cool.
If we take 2 off of these pain lands and don't play another blocker, then we're dead on board. Despite what whatever is in Brian's hands. So this decision may be the game right here. So I think Kai is thinking, I've got the game in my hands. How do I not give it away? We don't have an answer.
Is this Kai's last card he's pitching here?
Yes. Kai has no cards in hand until this resolves.
Sheesh.
So this really is, for all of the marbles.
Well, Wall of Roots keeps him alive for a turn. Mesmeric Fiend might be cool.
Yeah, Fiend I like. It'll chump block, but I like it because at least we get something. So we're going to grab a Squee. Yeah, okay, that implies we're going to at least survival 1 more time.
Cast Squee, maybe?
Casting a Squee
seems bad.
Well, it chump blocks and it chumps better than Birds does.
Yeah.
And then I don't hate it, but this is definitely playing to stay alive, which is fine. That is a fair way to play this game. Playing not to lose is a fair thing. Oh, we're going to pass the turn there. Ooh, wow. Sheesh. Okay, so we're going to represent block survival. All right, so we have a land source, which is real dangerous. Oh, okay. Kai is dead on board. With those 2 mana sources, Kai is dead on board. Kai cannot block. Kai blocks 1 of them, and then we represent 1, 2, 3 mana off the Petal in the Swamps, and an additional 5, which makes 8. Plus the 2 from Nantuko makes 10.
Additional 4.
Sure. So like 7 plus the 2 is 9. So yeah. So yeah. That is it. Brian is going to go ahead and win game 2 here. So this is good. Both of our matches go into game 3. Yeah, Brian, by the way, breaking the curse of having not won a game on stream all league, having been the final 2 rounds. He was one of our only 2 undefeated players going into round 4. Lost to Hockey, I believe, and then lost to Kai in round 6. Sorry, going into round 5, he was undefeated. Picked up 2 losses at the very end and finished 4-2 and still be 6 on with the best 4-2 record. Notably, one of our only Tendril players to do this well. We had at least two other Tendril decks in the league. I was one of them. Lorian, I believe, played another. So combo coming out in force, I think, this league. There were a number of other similar Hermit Druid breakfast decks, similar to Kai's.
I lost to one of those that used the Fling Devour situation to win.
Okay.
Didn't feel great.
Every time I lose to like a breakfast style deck, it's always like, You beat me how? But how could I have possibly known that was the strange combination of cards you were going to pull out of your hat?
Well, there's enough room in those decks for some personalization, you know?
Yep.
It's a nice touch. Who was it? I think Sam Crowlow used to play that a lot in our serious leagues and just always have it. Always have what he needed.
Mm.
Oh, the best viewers are on this tiny URL link.
Oh my gosh, no, that needs to go away.
Everybody should click that before Robert deletes it. Hurry up.
Man, this doesn't happen often enough. How do I delete this? Oh my god. All right.
Bad advice.
Gotta go to the other window. Jeez. All right. Come on, chat.
You're still working on that.
Yeah, because this is here we are. All right. Let's go ahead and
just make somebody.
I know. I do need an actual moderator.
Tom Basketball, congratulations! You're an admin for the channel now. Oh, then you should click
3 inches.
You should
3 feet.
multiple times, Eric. Let me know how that goes.
Holy moly! All right, let's talk. Let's not worry about those punks, right? Let's take a look at this bracket again.
It looks like Brian just shuffled up, didn't make any changes. Kai swapped a few things out. So you think Kai went back to the Druids?
I think it's possible because he's gonna be on the play. He wants to race, right? But let's look at how these players got here, right? So Brian was able to defeat Peter 2-1. Peter was on a blue-red Dreadnought deck. I'm told that match was absolutely nuts. There was a moment where Peter, was able to fling a Dreadnought for the win, with no way to, keep it alive. There is a game where Brian was able to attack for the win through a Dreadnought that was phased out. I've heard that matchup was good. Kai, on the other hand, won his match 2-0 against Shun. Shun, what was Shun playing? I'm gonna go remind myself real quick.
I did lose to Peter in the second round.
Shun was playing. Oh, right, Reanimator. He was playing kind of a black-red sort of splash blue Reanimator, or it was really black-blue splash red a little bit. And I lost to that deck. It had Petrodon, 8 my lands. That deck was real scary.
Petrodon.
Yeah. Straight out of Torment.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it was great, great deck to see, kind of make it in. So again, we had a lot of combo kind of come out, and we haven't had, I think, this density of combo in a while. But Kai's going to go ahead and start us off similar to how we started off game 1 with the duress, notably off the Gemstone Mine. Or we're going to pitch an unmask, which tells me we are going to race towards this finish here. Brian going to deploy a swamp, going to deploy the ivory tower, and he's going to show that we do not have the Cabal ritual for the turn 1 Necro.
Yeah, bummer.
So we may have turn 2 Necro. We'll see. But Cabal Therapy follow-up here is going to really interfere with Brian's plans. And speaking from experience, that is exactly how I lost a lot of my games, is having someone just rip apart my hand, and then I couldn't really do much. But Kai says, hey, look, I've got the combo. I'm ready to go. Notably, I think we might be a mana short for Kai to win on his next turn, but...
Going all in on this negator?
No, we're going to go for Necro, right? Because we have so many free removal spells that we can draw off of this.
Right.
And so now Brian gets to do his thing. If we can answer this Hermit Druid, Kai may be real out of luck. Chat says pay 18. I don't agree. Pay 18. You still need
18.
form life
Yeah,
to snuff
pay
out.
15, 14.
Yeah, I think we could afford to play 15. Well, it didn't sound like you knew. Didn't sound like you knew.
Leave me alone, Mom.
No way, pay 14. Yeah. Sure. All right. Brian, the expert pilot of the deck that he is, figures out I should go to 5. Now here's the thing. And I played against a Druid deck.
Druid, right?
Huh?
If he goes to 5, and I guess if he snuffs it out, then
If we can snuff it out, then we're fine, right? But I did play against a Druid deck like round 6, and I put myself in a position where I necroed myself down to 1, and they played a Druid, and I was like, okay, well, if I pass the turn, I just get attacked and I lose. So Brian does have to, kind of make sure that doesn't happen. We have an Ivory Tower, so it's going to be difficult, but something to be aware of. This Druid can also attack, but we find the snuff out, so we're going to drop to 1 to do so. Not a big deal, considering we are not going to immediately lose the game. And so now this puts Brian in a really good spot. We can gain some life and Necro every turn. Kai has 2 lands in play, but one of which goes away next time he taps it, and he completes the mine. And Kai's only got 3 cards in hand, and he's getting against the mountain of resource advantage with the Necro Tower plan.
It's looking pretty good for Brian. Kai's still looking dangerous, though.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much to just suddenly win, especially if we have a follow-up Druid that doesn't go answered. That's all we need.
Sure, but Brian did draw a lot of cards.
Correct. We did
put a lot of cards in his hand.
We did draw. Okay, let's see what we remove. Okay, some lands, negator, some more necros, and unmask. Notably, no other removal. So there could be a hand chock full of interaction in hand.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yes. Okay.
Disrupt. What do you got, Kai?
Theoretically, now we're in the territory of mini Tendrils. Tendrils you for 10, untap, Tendrils you for 10.
Sure.
That is something that could happen.
Winning strategy.
Gonna unearth. Okay.
Oh, no. Does that give
This
haste?
is where I kind of lose. No, it does not get haste. It just comes back.
Okay.
But this is why I tend to lose against decks with unearth, because I just forget unearth is a thing.
Is Brian at 1?
Brian should be at 1. I don't think he's updated that life total. So he's at 1, and he's going to gain 3, I believe.
And precarious, man.
So we'll see if they update their life totals here.
So another snuff out wouldn't really be relevant. He might just be trying to daisy chain some fast mana together.
Oh, but look at this, man. Just walk right into Contagion here.
No, no.
He could walk into Contagion.
Contagion's a thing. Contagion's only going to take one of them, though. Is the Hermit Druid a 1-2? I thought he was a 1-2.
I thought he's a 1-1. Chat, what is he? Because I'm pulling up Contagion now.
I remember things wrongly from time to time.
So Contagion is going to distribute 2 -2, -1 counters. Take out the birds and the Hermit Druid, I believe. Survey says we are a 1-1.
Okay, well, there you go. Bye-bye.
All right, but you know what we do have? We do have 2 Tormod crypts, so, don't care about no graveyard here.
Escalated quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Okay. Alrighty then. Uh,
So that's for 8.
second tower here. Life totals are up to date. And yeah, so look at this, right? So look at how it's kind of this deck is constructed. We get the Tormod Crypts; those are zeros. Storm counts go up. Make some, play a Ivory Tower for 1. Make some mana off the Lake of the Dead. We don't have to play a bunch of rituals. We don't have Dark Ritual. We don't have to play Priest of Gix necessarily. We can just kind of do it this way. And Tendrils for 8. That wasn't bad. That was just fine. And now Kai's back at 10, right? We can draw some cards. Now we can't go to 1 because this Hermit Druid can attack us. So let's resolve life totals here.
Yes.
Is Brian? Oh, well, we gained life off of the Tendrils, right? We gained.
Right.
So okay, so this makes sense.
Gain 6 off the Tendrils?
Oh, we should have gained 8.
8, okay. That's right, because of the tower and the 2 crypts.
Yeah. So we have some life to play with. Can't go to 1 because we'll get attacked and we'll lose. But we're in a good spot. Another Tendrils is all that we need. Okay, so we're gonna just cast the Snuff out now. We're just gonna make sure that and that makes sense, right? We have cards to get rid of, so we might as well just play it. Birds can't kill us in this moment. Now we're getting to an interesting point now. Like, if Brian just accidentally leaves himself too low, Kai might be able to sneak in a Triskelion, attack.
Yeah.
We can put it in the graveyard and make a shapeshifter.
Or yeah, no, you can't unearth it. Shapeshift it.
Okay, we're gonna play Hermit Druid number 2, third of the game. Chat saying that, hey, there's no swamp to play this unmask. I don't know. We can't really walk this back now.
Unmask or Snuff out?
The Snuff out. We cast the Snuff out without a swamp. So.
Did he hard cast it?
No. No, he can't Snuff out. So that is an oops. It is both of the players' responsibility to play correctly. So while it is Brian's card, it is also still Brian. Kai should know. It's unfortunate. We don't like that. But mistakes do happen. If we can catch him in time, we'll roll it back. But we're already in Brian's next turn. We're gonna see if this matters though. So ritual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we're counting threshold, which we could have cracked a Tormod Crypt. So we got 10 mana, -2. So we have 8 mana. Storm is 3, I believe. We we didn't mark our gain life here. So that Storm is 4, so that puts Kai to 2.
Sheesh.
Yeah, Kai is at, and we have a Negator. Okay, and we have two Tormod Crypts in play. I don't know if the Snuff out, if that hadn't been there, like we hadn't snuffed that out, we had the Druid we could activate this turn. I don't know if that would be effective against 2 Tormod Crypts. It's hard to say.
Would he have been able to activate the Druid through the Tormod Crypts? Probably not, right?
No, I don't. I think 2 is probably too many. I mean,
They're tight.
This deck can be complicated, and Kai's a tight player, so I wouldn't rule it out. But just look at how this deck just sort of turns itself. The most unfair fair Necro deck.
I mean, it's taking big swings. I mean, 6 life, 8 life, that's nothing to seize at.
So chat's saying maybe we can draw into a Null Rod. If we draw into a Null Rod, we could go off, but I don't know if we have the time. Okay, so here's this. So we do draw the contagion. Contagion is something we can do now. That is a thing. So if Kai draws Nora, I still don't think there's enough mana, unless we have exactly like. What's the other card in hand? Necroma. Okay, so I don't know if it mattered, but wow. So Brian's gonna go ahead and take this 2-1 over Kai here, showing off the one of the things you cannot do in pre-modern, which is cast Necropotence. Those were good games. You know, it was kind of nice to see. I mean, see Brian's deck actually, you know, work the way that I think he imagined it working. He's, you know, the times we had him on stream, things did not quite go very well. In his match against Kai last week, Kai was able to just run Meddling Mage into Meddling Mage against exactly the cards that were in Brian's hand. So he didn't cast any spells and died. So that was unfortunate. But we have Tendrils in the final now. That's pretty cool.
Tendrils gets there sometimes.
What do you think about that?
I like that deck a lot. I've seen it win like leagues or tournaments, and then I see a bunch of people play it and then get their teeth kicked in.
Right.
And then it goes away for a while. But I think it's not quite a glass cannon, but it's like it's good when it's good.
So this will make the second finals in a row where we've had Necro in the finals. Two very different Necro decks, but you know, something to do in this format.
Hashtag ban Necro.
No, don't. I mean, I guess if you ban Necro, we get to unban Dark Ritual maybe, but anyway, talk for when we come back. We're gonna go ahead and take a short break, get our finals match squared away here, and get to our conclusion of this wonderful league. So stick around, a couple moments. We'll be right back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Romancing the Stones
Marathon stream.
Marathon stream. Thank you. You finished that exactly the way I needed you guys to. Marathon stream. So this is the School's Out 2024 Middle School Webcam League. My name is Robert. I'm joined in the booth by Angelo. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for sticking with me, Angelo. How's it going?
It's great, man. Good to see the finals.
We do. It's the Battle of the Bryans.
It's going to be a spicy matchup too. These are two deck lists or deck types that I would consider maybe a little rusty.
Sure.
You know, we see the solution in pre-modern a lot. It gets a little bump with forces.
Yep.
And then this Tendrils deck we were just talking about, awfully swingy.
Yes.
To see both these decks in the finals, it's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be a blast. I think the finals is not what a lot of players seem to have predicted. They thought Landstill might be victorious over Tweedy and that Kai would repeat what he did in the Swiss and win. But hey, here we are. We've got our Necro Tendrils deck on the left and the Solution, kind of a control deck on the right. But most importantly here, the winner not only gets crowned champion of this league, but does get an invite to our end of year invitational. So if you haven't played any of our events, when you win one of our vintage or middle school events, you get to be invited back at the end of the year to our invitational tournament. We have streamed the last few of those. They've been a blast. It's a lot of fun. It's a dual format event, middle school and vintage. It's wonderful. So Brian is 6th seed, which is better than 8th seed, which is why he's on the play here.
That's another rare thing, right?
Right.
6 versus 8 seed for the finals.
Right, and especially because both these players finished the league 4-2. So wow. That is pretty cool.
Cinderella story.
It is. Tweety squeaked in at 8th on Breakers, and it was tight. So this is wonderful to see him here in the finals here. Brian and I talked about sort of constructing some of his deck at the end of last league. We talked about kind of how to build this sort of black deck, and now here he is in the finals. More to his decisions than certainly anything I contributed, but here we are. And we see turn two Necro.
Not that I'm saying this is actually prophetic, but in the song that dropped earlier today, there's a line about Tweedy making the finals, which I don't think he has anything up our way recently.
So two things. First of all, that's cool. And second, where do I listen to this? Because I want to listen to this song now.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Okay.
We dropped it in a channel or two. I'll get the link for you guys.
And
it's ridiculous.
If you're making magic music, we have this stream. I don't know if you know about it, where we play some music.
The whole thing. By the way, do that. That Necro just got countered while we were yapping. Oh
my goodness, man! See, chat. We kind of go off on our own thing, and the sweet plays we miss them. Force a wheel. I mean, There you go. Safety valve.
It's that lightning angel on top, which is kind of cool. Why is that face up?
That is face up because it is a known card revealed to Urza's Bauble.
Right. Okay. But it's in his hand now.
It should be in his hand, yes. I think he's just leaving it there, playing face up for our benefit and Brian's benefit. We know that there's no lightning angel in play. That'd just be silly.
Awfully kind of him. But yeah, of course it's not in play. For a second I thought it was face up on top of the deck.
Oh, sure. And then we gotta figure out why.
To know what it is.
Yep. Well, all right. So we've got the white source here, tapping 2 mana. We're gonna drop down to what looks like 17 here. I'm smelling a meddling mage. Unlikely to be an impulse.
Yeah, he's trying to get the soul read right now through the computer.
Sure. Okay. I think we named Necro, even though we've countered one.
Yeah, probably. Or would you name Tendrils even?
If this was a regular Storm deck, absolutely. Like,
Or
slam
just
dunk.
Snuff Out?
But Snuff, I don't know. Snuff Out just seems like I'm fine if my opponent's playing Snuff Out. I'm playing this Lightning Angel burn deck. Like, pay 4 life, that's fine. Tendrils is the card that actually, like, does me in. But if this was any other Tendrils deck, I would say yes, snap call the Tendrils. But I think Necro is still the more powerful card here. But we're going to see a Shade and 3 basic swamps, which makes this Shade pretty scary in the long run here.
It's a big boy.
Tweety does have access to swords, which, game 1 still, might be useful. All right, another 2 mana. Drop down to... Are we impulsing here? Are we casting another? Yeah, we're going to impulse.
Okay, drop down to nothing.
I think we're looking for land. That tells me we're looking for land.
Probably with a Lightning Angel in hand. Still no red mana available.
Right. There's our red mana.
Solves all our problems.
And Lightning Bolt will clean up the Shade just fine. Battle in here for 2. All right, all right.
Okay.
Tweety's deck firing on all cylinders.
That's how you want to draw it up.
I have to think that this is not the matchup Brian wanted. Although I feel like his view of this top 8, this is a gift, right? He's had difficult matchup after difficult matchup. I don't know if Landstill would have been any better.
Probably not.
I mean, main deck Meddling Mage is rough. And Lightning Bolts could be rough. main deck, okay, so Lightning Bolts and Fire and Ice versus my 4 Negators. Probably not where we want to be.
No. He's dying to get to that sideboard.
Kai saying that neither he or Brian wanted to play either TK or Tweety. Yeah, we were joking earlier that we had the control bracket of our of our top 4 versus the combo bracket, and combo's not as robust in this format as it might be in some more mature formats like Legacy or Vintage. But 4th land means Lightning Angel. Could this be any better for Tweety at the moment?
I mean, not much.
This seems pretty textbook for how he wants this game to go. We're now 2 low over life total for Necro to matter.
He's 2 attacks and a bolt away from glory.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible Brian gets off a Tendrils here. Excuse me, a Tendrils here, but I don't think, I don't think we can Tendrils for 16.
Couple rituals, whatnot. Yeah, maybe.
We'd have to have the right half of his storm plan here. And I don't think we have quite enough to get there.
Probably would have
And that's, of course,
started
right. I mean, that's assuming the Meddling Mage is not on Tendrils.
right. This is one Meddling Mage we kind of really want to know the answer to.
Wait, are we going to see a hard cast enough out here? Nope. All right. We're at 3. Show me the bolt. Can't snuff out anymore.
Come on. Do something crazy.
Tweety showing us that you can play control and still have a clock. And we have the bolt. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, there it is.
No way to stop that. All right, so Brian Tweety is going to go ahead and close off game 1 fairly quickly here. Pretty commanding, right? We countered the turn 1, the Necro. We killed the Shade, and just had all the pressure. That was
the right
pretty
tool,
decisive.
right time. But even the final Lightning Bolt for 3, I mean, that's...
All right, let's take a look at some at these deck lists. Tweety's deck. We like the counter magic. Those seem good.
Yeah, I don't see him doing much much here. Maybe Seal of Cleansing.
I like Seal of Cleansing. We could get rid of a tower maybe this way. A null is wonderful.
Stifle's not going to do anything. Does Stifle counter Storm?
Yes, it does. So Stifle absolutely will counter the Storm trigger. So you'll get one copy of Tendrils, and not the other copies.
I would strongly consider going up Stifle.
Yeah, so Stifle seems great. These Annuls seem good for stomping your Necros.
Disenchant next to the... What is that next to?
I think it's an Enlightened Tutor. So we might have like an Enlightened Tutor package if we need to just dig for some stuff.
What's in between? Is that a COP red?
It is a COP red, yes.
Okay.
So I definitely think the Nulls and the Stifles come in here. Easy to swap out for maybe these Fire Nices. I think the Bolts are probably good enough at dealing with Negators and or your Shades, and Swords are just good too. That might be an easy trade. All right, let's look at what other Brian has got here. We want to take these Negators out. So what do we want? Contagions are good. We could put a Contagion on an Angel and make the clock real slow.
Contagion's okay.
They also kill a Meddling Mage.
Probably okay.
Yeah, I'm on board there. Dystopia.
Dystopia, yeah, that handles all the creatures in the deck.
Sure. And maybe we want a Powder Keg to get rid of the Meddling Mages. So we've got some cards to bring in. I don't know if we can take out too much. We can take out the 4 Negators. And then, maybe swap out some Snuff Outs for, Contagions or something else, Dystopias. But it's kind of rough, right? Losing 4 life against the Lightning Bolt and Lightning Angel deck is just kind of rough.
It is a kick. I mean, maybe you just stay at 2 and rock it like that.
So Chad is saying that Tweety should cut 4 Force of Wills and add 3 Nulls in 1 stroke. I don't know if I want to cut Force of Will against the deck trying to jam Necro on turn 1 and turn 2, but I mean, a Null plays a role there, sure. Maybe. I mean, right? Hand card disadvantage against the discard, hand disruption deck.
That's the other thing I was thinking is like hand disruption is good, but like so many parts of Tweety's deck are equally important.
Sure.
That if you had something slightly better, I could justify it.
Yeah.
I don't know that he has stuff that's better.
Trimming some number of forces and keeping some Fire Nices in, I think that's fine. Maybe boarding out the Fire Nice is just wrong. If you want to attack the Necro plan, attacking the life total is a good way to do that. And if you think your opponent is ballsy enough to keep in the Negators, then you want all the burn spells you can have.
Yeah, why not?
One
of the things that makes Negator playable, though, is you're playing black, so a lot of times you have pretty good knowledge of your opponent's hand.
Sure.
So they're not holding bolts, they got to rip it off the top, slam that Negator, hope for that turn or two you need.
Absolutely. And what Brian is playing, we have Unmasks and Therapies. So there's definitely no duress, notably. But we definitely have plenty of chance to look at our opponent's hand and interact with it, potentially. But our players are going to shuffle up here for game 2. Of the finals here. So Tweety one game away from qualifying for Invitational, being vindicated with his pet deck of choice, and winning title of Best Brian. Is that what we're playing for?
Well, I think the Brians with a Y will be howling that Brian with an I is disqualified. Spelling. Like, you can't claim Best Brian because it's a slightly different class of Brians.
But see, so you say that, but we had 2 Brians with a Y make top 8.
Right.
Versus 1 with an I.
Right.
So maybe Brian Tweedy is the odd man out here.
Certainly, but if I was a Brian with the Y, I would argue that it doesn't count as him being the best Brian because
Sure.
it's different spelling, different category,
Okay, sure. So Brian with Y is a different best Brian than Brian with an I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got this guy named Tom complaining about how we need a Ryan as a tiebreaker, which also makes sense somehow.
Alrighty, so Brian with a Y is going to go ahead and start us off with a tower here. We're going to start gaining life. Great place to be against this sort of aggressive control build.
We're in for a long game.
And Tweety says, hey, I'm going to play this mom, and you're not going to interact with my creatures anytime soon.
Well,
All right, we're going to unmask. Step 1 for protecting maybe a removal spell. Discard a Cabal Ritual. That's not an easy discard. That kind of hurts.
Unless you
all
got
right.
3 more.
It does have 3 more. Okay, so I love Unmask for coverage because now we get to look at the hand. And Tweety did mull to 6. We're going to reveal Meddling Mage, Mountain. Notably does not cast any blue cards. Mana Leak, and Factor Fiction. So we'll take the Meddling Mage just because, but Tweety has no blue sources. So, and no Force Duels right now. So, look, we have the other Cabal Ritual. Okay, that makes sense. We're gonna get Resolve our Necro. Brian may steal this one real quick if Tweety bricks here. Chat says not like this. Well, this is game 2. We could go to game 3. Why not?
Are we casting Contagion?
Yes. Mama's tapped out right now, so might as well, have got these extra cards, right? We went to 9.
Summoning sick, yeah.
Yeah, so take care of this now. Tweety literally has no threats and nothing to cast.
Sure. Draw go time.
Great time for Negator. I say before Tweety rips Bolt.
Yeah.
Off the top.
Well, then you can just sack the Necro, right?
We could sack the Necro, but we don't want to sack the Necro. We've got this tower in play.
Facts.
No fire. Oh, we could draw fire too. Sure. Fire less flashy against the Negator than Bolt, but still effective.
Does work.
All right, so big draw step coming up for Tweety here. Really needs to draw blue source. Can he do it? Force Oil would be fine. Blue source would be better. Survey says not blue source. Mystery card go. All right.
Blue card.
The shield's down. We will skip our draw, but we will go ahead and gain some life here. Alrighty. What kind of 7 did you keep, Brian? Go ahead and show us. We were waiting for Necro. The power of Necro. Okay, unmask. So, Force of Will not gonna be good enough here. Angel. Okay. I probably take the Mana Leak. Start attacking the blue cards.
He's a land away from casting Angel.
Yeah, well, apparently he agrees.
I mean, things could go pretty wrong pretty fast with that Angel.
Well, if our plan is to play a shade here and just go for the throat, then yeah, getting rid of any blocker makes sense. Which is what we do. We
double.
deploy the shade. Storm is 3. Okay. Lake of the Dead.
No.
Oh my
no.
goodness. Tendrils for 4. All right. Yeah, sure. I like this.
So 8.
I really like the Lake of the Deads in this build. I really like how they're playing.
Look at that sick.
This has been... I like this, you know.
Going to 2?
No, well, we gained 8 off of Tendrils.
Right,
So we went to 20. And then I think we just drew 10.
These guys and their sloppy life total keeping.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's a thing, right?
At least you got to figure it out to where we can see it without having to look at like their life pads or.
Sure, right. For those of you watching at home, our players have, in order to make the stream work, they have a couple different windows open. So they're juggling a little bit more than their typical game of Magic, which we appreciate because we can bring you wonderful games. So we're gonna lose a shade and 3 swamps. It looked like. It just seems like great for Brian for this game, and I think Tweety's just packing it up. Just drew a card and says, you know, I did not draw anything relevant.
Man.
This game, this game did not happen. All right, so
5 mana off a swamp is crazy. Like, granted, you're tapping 2 lands to do it.
Sure.
Or tapping a land to do it, but it makes you think of Orcish Lumberjack. I really want that card to be good.
Oh, I do want Orcish Lumberjack to be good, but like, problem is like some of the best things you can do is like Covetous Dragon.
I mean, you can cast Urnam Jin on turn 2.
All right, I Urnam Jin on turn 2 sounds fine. Follow up with a Rancor. I'd be okay with that.
Drop a Rancor on it. Yeah, sure.
The Red Green Stompy, that sounds right up your alley.
I believe me, I've tried. But it's I guess what I'm getting at with the Lake of Dead is like, it seems like it'd be kind of swingy. Like you end up with too much mana in your hand sometimes, and it doesn't add the storm on top of it. Not like a Lumberjack would, but deck's doing well.
All right, so this is last game of the league.
Yeah, it has to.
Both players tied one game apiece.
Unless they somehow manage to tie this. Is there a way they could tie this game?
There is a way, but it requires Tweety to be super cheeky. If both players are at 1 life,
it'll happen.
Both players have to be at 1 life, and Tweety can cast fire targeting both players. That is how that's how we can draw this game. I don't think there's any other way. But chat, tell me, who do you want to win? Do you want Brian with a Y? Brian with an I? Who is your Brian of choice? Asking the serious questions here.
How many watchers we got right now?
Allegedly 11.
Okay, so like 8 non-bots.
Maybe, yeah, sure. If you're a bot, raise your hand. Some of you rose your hand. I know it. I know that happened. Some of you did. You're just lucky you're behind the keyboard. All right, so we're gonna see.
Tweety hasn't been favored all night long, Rajna.
See, it's hard for me to think that, right? And I know like there's like discarded a Necro is like real bad snowball that Tweety's deck has a hard time overcoming. But you know, there's so many cards that Negator's bad against. You know, if that's still in the deck, that could be trouble for Brian. And we have counter magic. You know, if we just like if Brian just kind of hits his fail rate, you know, Tweety can get to turn 2 to mana leak, then have Force of Will, you know, and kind of go from there. So it's rough. It's hard either way.
Off his nonsense. Really, he needs to keep him off the card advantage, right? They keep him off Necro. I think that's the most important thing.
Yes. Having played a Necro deck this league, I can tell you that if you're set up to abuse Necro, you really just function a lot better when you have it. Which, not a very intelligent thing to say necessarily. Of course, Necro's broken, right? So saying, "Oh, your deck's better with Necro." Well, yeah, of course, but look at the play patterns of Brian's deck so far, right? His success has been play Necro and then use that to churn through successfully his deck. How well does his deck function without a Necro, right? We could power out a Shade or a Negator, but how do we, keep that going if we're going to 2-for-1 ourselves with unmasks or with contagions and things like that? Or by deploying a Lotus Petal into Ritual into card, that's 3 cards down to resolve 1. So it can be tough.
Right.
When we don't have Necro in this style of deck.
All right, it's intense.
And we're off.
Brian's starting at 12 life.
They'll update the life totals, I'm sure, when it comes into play. So we are able to bring you life totals, but life totals are complete control of our players. So as much as I would love to reset these, I can't. But our players can.
20, by the way.
When it happens. There we go.
Audience.
All right, so
Is Tweety going to go to 17 and cast the Meddling Mage?
I don't know. If he's got Mana Leak, I think we just keep that up. I mean, it's hard, right? Because Brian's got all these unmasks.
I don't know. You could Meddling Mage into, say Necro.
Ooh.
But
just a fair shade here.
The Mana Leak.
All right, so Brian's going to try to resolve a Shade. Tweety's going to go ahead and fetch down to 19. Grab an island. 3 colors of mana complete. We'll see.
Heard it coming.
I think this is the Mana Leak. Yeah, Mana Leak. Yeah, just clean answer. Get rid of that creature. Don't have to worry about that. We get to untap. Make another land drop. Maybe now we take the time to resolve a Meddling Mage. Ooh. Okay, I thought we were going to miss a land drop for a second. I was going to be very concerned.
Morph guy?
Yeah, maybe. Although I like the idea of if we have an annul and an impulse, we could just pass.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're definitely right. We want to be countering things, not aggroing right now.
Yeah, so it looks like Brian's going to just deploy a 3rd swamp, pass. We see the impulse. Okay. So yeah, maybe this is exactly what Tweety had in his hand. And this is good because I think one of the ways Brian can lose from this position is by just running into counterspells and then letting Brian reload with his, sort of some of his cantrips. And then, when Brian's at the mercy at the top of his deck, he's,
Back for Fiction incoming.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'd be phenomenal play here.
That'll tip the scales a little bit. See if Tweety's got it at the end of the next turn.
Well, the context of this match, or this game, is certainly very different than the last one. Tweety has access to all colors of mana.
Tweety is definitely the control deck this time.
Oh, yeah.
Or the controlling deck.
And that could be fine, too. Brian can just be waiting for, a Cabal Therapy or an Unmask to kind of just clear the way and just take a look at what's happening. All he has to really focus on is either, resolving a threat like a Shade or the Necro. And if he can do one of those two things, then he can kind of be Necro specifically. Then he can really like start throwing resources, at Tweety. But Tweety now asking a question. Meddling Mage. Brian doesn't have a lot to do in response to that, but I still think if I'm Tweety, I'm probably going to name the Necro here.
Yeah. Maybe he was asking about Tendrils.
Oh, fair. Yeah, you can name Tendrils and you won't be able to cast it or get Storm.
Right.
That is very true.
Okay, moving right along.
All right, land pass. So, an embarrassment of lands here. Are we going to... Oh, yeah. Contagion costs 6. So we were one short of being able to do anything with that. So we're going to go ahead and...
It costs 5.
Am I wrong? Chat? Did I get this wrong?
I don't know. You're usually right. Yeah, it's 5.
Oh my goodness.
Could've
Why?
Just straight up.
The counter spells because we got the other contagion. Why do we do it in that order? Oh, it's just to avoid mana leak, I guess. Sure.
And you should have paid 1 life for the contagion too.
This is accurate. Contagion for those following along at home. So yeah, so 5. So we do get to hard cast it. Brian just dropped down to 19.
Okay, that's correct.
And we are able to take care of the Meddling Mage. Okay, so contagions come in. All right, so wait. Did Tweety decide otherwise?
Oh my god.
What? No, come on. It hit the bin. It hit the bin. All right, well, we're all friends here, Ariel. That's the rules enforcement we play. So Tweety decided, no, I need this, and I'm going to, nuke my hand to do it. All right, that's fine.
What is it on, Necro?
Get wrecked, Meddling Mage. Get out of here. All right, so that Meddling Mage cost Tweety 2 Force of Wills, an Impulse, and 2 Force of Wills, and the Fire and Ice. All right.
But it cost Brian 3 contagions and a
Cabal Ritual. This is true.
Ritual,
no, it's back.
These guys are just shuffled.
All right, get wrecked, Brian. I guess, right? That's what I'm supposed to say next. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I guess we don't name Contagion anymore.
Definitely not.
All right, Brian is able to draw another swamp and pass. All right, so just for a moment here, let's count these swamps. Right, we've got. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
right?
16. Yeah. So we have drawn over a third of our lands.
That's rough.
Within the first couple turns, it is rough.
Well,
now it does mean that if we can find another shade.
It's exactly a third with the Lake of the Deads.
Yeah.
Now it's over a third.
Oh my goodness! All right. My kingdom for an Antuco shade, please. Maybe
Seriously?
that's what we name with the Meddling Mage, because that's what kills us right now. Oh no! Disaster. All right.
Brutal.
We have flipped the Exalted Angel. We have plenty of pressure.
All right, Tweety's in great shape.
Oh my goodness! Another land. This is. I wouldn't have believed it if you weren't watching it here live, folks.
This is a hateful way to go.
Not like this. Not like this.
That's why you play best of 3, right?
Well, this is the 3rd game, so this is. But yes. I mean, it did happen to Tweety last game too. So, kept the hand that didn't pan out.
And tell him it's best of 5 now.
There we go. That's it. That is the game, right there. What do we have? Oh my gosh, Lake of the Dead, just mana sources. Oh no.
No.
But hey, Tweety wins this game, and with that he wins the match, and with that he wins the whole league.
The whole shebang, yeah. Congratulations, Mr. Tweedy.
Mr. Tweedy. So back to your song, prophetic, maybe. Making the finals. Now we've won. Congratulations, Tweedy. Wow, man, that is not how you want to go out, though. Like, so I think Brian drew at least 5-6 mana sources in a row. I mean, we got the Hardcast Contagion twice, so like we used the mana.
Yeah, but I would have rather had 10 cards in my hand using Contagion twice.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. Man, if only we like that. The Shade had gotten to like just stay out for a little while.
Yeah, but I mean, Tweety can't let that hang.
No, of course not. No, that would have been lights out. But wow, what a finals! What a top four, right? All of our games tonight went to best of 3. No one won clean 2-0, so sure. Definitely could have been anyone's match.
There were some heavy. I don't like using the word misplay because I know what it feels like to make the decisions and then find yourself looking back thinking, why did I make that decision? But in the moment, I'm sure they were good decisions for those guys. But it's like when TK did the Decree of Justice, I don't think he needed to do that. I think that cost him. There was something in Kai's match, or the 4 life, or the stuff out, not having the swamp. Sure. That was an issue.
That was definitely misplay.
That might have impacted the whole game. So it was close.
It's hard.
Top 8, top 4.
Playing on stream is difficult. It's not normal for some people. The game itself is already difficult and hard, and it's easy to get some sort of tunnel vision too, right? We get to watch from here, and it's just easier sometimes when you're sitting in this position, getting to watch both games, even without the information in either player's hand. You just notice things faster. Both players, with the snuff out and the swamp, didn't have any clue, or if they did, we didn't get any wind of that. But that happens. If you watch one of our last vintage events that we recorded and streamed, first 2 games, obvious terrible like misplays, like casting Lavinia off of an Urza Saga, and it's just sometimes people just do we just do silly things, right? It happens, but either way, great games all around. I had blessed,
some real, I mean, minus Standstill, some really neat decks. Sure,
right. Standstill is a known quantity. Solution is not as much.
Well, you just don't see it make the finals.
Right, it's not as common.
It's always a player. It's a good tier 2 deck. Was that what we would call it?
Yeah, I would say that. I think it's maybe easier to argue, and it's probably not tier 1-5. It's probably tier 2. Sure. Yeah. Somewhere in there, depending on the player. But hey, Necro, performed well for Tweety this time.
Or Tendrils, same kind of thing.
Yes, Tendrils is definitely roguish. I think Tendrils decks haven't been explored as much in this format because up until recently, Lion's Eye Diamond was banned. Right. So the other 2 Tendrils decks, right? That changed some things. The other 2 Tendrils decks were LED Tendrils style. Both finished 3-3. So that could be build. That could be Storm is complicated, and maybe make some different decisions. So we may see more combo come back. But in the top 8 we saw at least half of it was combo. We had a Lauren combo. We had Dreadnought. We had this Tendrils-y combo suicide thing, and then we also had the Hermit Druid. So half combo. We haven't had that many combo decks, probably in the league, in a while, let alone top 8. So, definitely cool to see. But congratulations again, Tweety. You were not relegated to the basement now at your Invitational. If you've tuned into our Invitational streams, we do stream from a bar called Tweety's that Tweety happens to
But it's
No
not
relation.
Is not named after Tweety, right?
It is not named after Tweeties.
Allegedly.
But we stream from the basement, probably one of the few basements in the city of Austin. And now Tweety gets to stay up top and play rather than join me in the booth and commentate. So that'll be great. Wonderful to see, success for him. Again, congratulations, other Brian, for making the finals with Tendrils of Agony. That is wonderful. I'd love to see that. It was great.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Any final thoughts before we sign off for the evening, Angelo?
I mean, my main takeaway from tonight is that I'm probably going to be tempted to play more tier 2 decks and post more 3-3 results because I just saw these guys go to the top with them. So it gives you hope.
If we all play tier 2 fun decks, then it's anyone's game. Anything can happen.
That's a big if.
This is a big if.
Here.
We do have some spikes. Yeah, this is true. This is true.
I'll keep having fun and they can win. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Winning is fun.
Nothing wrong with that.
Now, yelling at the screen. Winning is fun.
Well, that's going to do it for our stream tonight and this year's Schools Out League. It's been wonderful. Thank everyone who's joined in through chat, joined in on our previous streams. It's been wonderful to have you all. If you played in our league, thank you so much. We literally cannot do this without you. It's been wonderful. Definitely stay tuned in our Discord for more information about when the next league. I think we're going to try to squeeze in one more league, at least for the year. And as well as some of our vintage events that are coming up too. It'll be fun.
The land is coming up next weekend.
So land is coming up. That is, I know a lot of players here are traveling to that. That's definitely high on their mind.
Yeah, man. Big time. We'll do it in person.
That'll be great. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for having me.